Alam mo ba na 2 cake lang nasa laro ka na? Login with Steam at simulan na ang case opening sa Skin Club, ang ultimate CS2 skin case opening platform. With high drop rates, fair play at instant withdrawals, mas madali nang makuha ang dream skins mo. Gusto mo pa ng mas intense? Try case battles at skin upgrades for even bigger wins. Huwag magpahuli, bisitahin ang Skin Club ngayon at gamitin ang aming promo code na FocusFire.
And let's go. Ay.
So, for us, we just thinking
Tara,
about this.
tara, tara.
We're
Yun na,
thinking
yun na.
about
Mas party na.
playing right now. We just
Mas party na.
need to good mood, good vitality.
Vitality,
to play
3-1,
our A game. I think we have a good chance to win.
I mean, if history's anything to go by, it's looking good for you guys. MOUZ, how strong are they looking right now? Because they haven't dropped a map so
3-1.
far here in Dallas.
Obviously, they look really strong,
Sure.
but for us, it doesn't matter. I mean, we are mostly looking about ourselves for now. We doesn't play the good CS, I would say, for now. But we know if we play our A game, we play like we do for the last 4 months. I think we're gonna beat them, so I think we just really focus on ourselves for now.
Anything you want to say to the crowd? They had quite a lot to say to you yesterday in that Falcons game.
Actually, I don't remember. I remember fuck you Apex a lot, so hopefully we like you guys because we are making fun of that. So keep saying fuck you Apex, and we're gonna love it.
I love the energy, Zaru. Good luck in your game.
Well, here we go, the grand final Sunday. A rematch from Lisbon in March. Inferno, a non-starter in that grand final. 13-0 smash burger served up by the ever-in-contention Vitality. And after all 5 maps, Vitality won. And again, and again, and again. Because this is Vitality's server, and we're all just living in it, gentlemen.
Yeah, I think this is a completely different final to what Dallas has seen the last 3 times, right? Ever since we came back post-COVID, there's always a Cinderella run. There's always an underdog who comes out on top, who has a sort of a miraculous run, capping it off last year with Stewie 2K actually getting to lift the trophy. But this time, a completely different script. 2 of the best teams in the world. With Vitality, we're witnessing history in the making. You know, no one since NIP at the start of CSGO was able to do what they're doing right now. And no one will break that record, not even Vitality. That's like the Wilt Chamberlain 100-point game. It's not going to happen in today's Counter-Strike, but just the fact that they won 5 tournaments in a row, that they haven't lost in over 120 days, tells you how insane it is what Vitality is doing at the moment.
Yeah, they're doing a great job overall. Obviously, so far this tournament haven't really played up to their A game. They came in a little bit rusty, said they didn't practice leading into it, and I think that's part of the story as well, Josh, you know, for this specific final. Every time Vitality has been at a tournament so far in 25, we've been seeing them firing on all cylinders. We've been speaking about their A game. We've been speaking about them being obviously the best team in the world. So far in Dallas, I don't think they played an A game yet they're still in the final. So if MOUZ is any good for it, if they can continue down the trend that we've seen so far, I think we need to see Saiwu and the boys today play their A game if they want to win.
Yeah, Josh, we've seen these guys play several games. A game is just, you know, a formality at this point. So let's talk about some of these times here in terms of them head-to-head.
Yeah, the head-to-head, obviously, Vitality have the clear
3-0, 2-0,
wins over the side of MOUZ. MOUZ haven't looked too good against them, and the 13-0 as well in one of these best-of-5 finals, a 3-0 as well. For the side of Vitality, MOUZ has been getting a little bit better and better each time they play against Vitality. The scoreline gets a little bit closer. They get some more rounds. They get some maps going in it. And not included here is obviously another BO3 loss. These are the grand final losses that they've had in the head-to-head. So this is the 3rd time that they're going at it just in the last couple of months here. And MOUZ, they do look a lot sharper this event. So that is one thing going for them. And Vitality, as Jacob pointed out, have looked like they haven't been completely on their A game. But I mean, we also have to take into consideration that other times Vitality have played where they have won either entire tournaments or have won against other teams. There have been times where they've been up against the ropes and they just hung in there. The other team wasn't able to close it out. And it's all a matter of, is MOUZ going to be able to push it over the line this time and get, once they have Vitality on the ropes, close it out, which is what other teams have been failing to do. It's not like Vitality is blowing everyone out 13-0 every match.
That's the thing. They played plenty of times against each other. This ain't a rivalry, right? Vitality beats their ass every single time. And the best-of-5 final, the 3-2 wasn't close because on 3 maps it was 13-7, 13-7, 13-0, right? Just because you won 2 maps 13-11 doesn't make it for a close final. The team that has pushed Vitality the most was the Falcons, right? And MOUZ sort of fell out of contention in the last month, dropped 2 games to Falcons in the playoffs, didn't even get to face Vitality. So now it's about getting back to that stage where they didn't have too much fun this year.
Let me ask a question to Dallas. What would you say to Apex in this moment, Dallas?
Under 4.5. Under 3.5.
I just figured I'd ask.
Well, I think this is the first time we're going to have two away teams play each other. Somehow both teams are going to get booed.
Weirdly enough. Hey, and speaking of Apex, let's hear from Apex.
Fuck you, Apex. Fuck you, Apex.
Just had a chance to catch up with the Vitality camp because obviously they played the last semi-final just yesterday, so it's a bit of a tight turnaround when you come into a grand final starting at 2 p.m. today. So pose the question firstly to Apex. What do you get up to in that evening? He said the players, they take some time off. He goes with the coach and the assistant coach to be reviewing the games. It takes him about an hour and a half to do that. Then we come into this morning, 10:15. It's time for an hour team walk, get your steps in, get some fresh air in your lungs, then have a little bit of lunch, go over the notes, and arrive here at the venue for the grand final.
Pretty quick turnaround time is the least amount you could say about that.
When you're looking at a team like this that kind of has everything going for them, the thing that they're looking at is just what ZywOo said earlier, right? It's about just being mentally and physically prepared for the game, not so much about this heavy, let's look into them and set up a complete game plan where we counter-strat them and everything. Not much has probably changed of the side of MOUZ from the last time these guys played against each other, and they're no strangers to each other, so not a huge amount of effort needs to go into just sitting there and breaking down every round by round.
And I think this is where it gets interesting, right? You look at the playoffs performance this year for MOUZ, the top-rated players are Torji and Exertion, right? No surprises for Vitality. ZywOo has been lights out this year. Without a doubt, the best player in the world. Ropz has been, you know, that game changer for them. But then once you move on to the grand final performances, it doesn't change for ZywOo, actually the exact same rating, which is crazy. Ropz steps up in the finals. Apex is their third best player. But you look over to the side of MOUZ, this is where you have a significant drop-off from the sides of Exertion and Torji. It's Pinx who's their best player. Actually, Jimmy does a little bit better in grand finals. But that has been the problem for MOUZ. We know they're a great team. They have great teamwork. You know, they have good openings, good protocols, everything. But once you get to the biggest stage, once you go up actually against Vitality, this is where they tend to fall off. This is where the stage becomes too big for them. They stop playing their own game, and Vitality just puts them in their pocket.
And that is a good point to bring up, because one of the massive win conditions for MOUZ so far in this tournament has been the fact that Torsi is the highest rated player, has been the fact that he's been playing lights out. You know, he's been playing with confidence, he's been addictive on the server, he's been all over the place almost with the AWP. Now, we have seen the tendency in grand finals and in playoff of him dropping off a little bit, but if he can continue what he's been doing so far this tournament, that's something that can come in and screw the picture. Yes, I agree with you, Janko. The 3-2 grand final where MOUZ won 2 maps, 13-11. On paper, it looks close. It wasn't really that close, but if you have Torsi playing at his absolute best at a tournament where we already established that ZywOo is only at a 1.19 rating, where Vitality is maybe playing their B game, their C game, that could be enough for MOUZ to make this super, super competitive.
That's one of the things I'm looking at, actually, is that Spinx and Torsi are two of the most, the highest rated players at the event so far, and historically against this head-to-head matchup, these two players are going to be relied upon heavily. So if they're having a good performance so far this event, and then they're coming into this grand finals in this type of form, and ZywOo is also having a muted event compared to his normal 1.3, 1.4 rating type of event. If he's not here to perform really well, then that is a concoction, right? That suddenly MOUZ could do an upset. Vitality had this struggle last year as well. ZywOo there, when they got upset by G-Stu, also didn't have a great performance in that grand final. So maybe we're seeing kind of all the same stars aligning at this present moment.
Well, at least for Spinx, you know, in this sort of an environment, he can't see or hear Apex getting up and screaming at him. So maybe that will help him perform a little bit better in the final. But I think considering how Vitality has been playing and that no one is popping off, if MOUZ doesn't beat them now, they're never beating them. Like this is poised for them to win. They've had a great run. They haven't dropped a map in the tournament. Your individuals are playing really well. Vitality is struggling. They're looking mortal. They sort of don't feel as the most confident because they didn't practice as much as they usually do coming into this tournament. So it's going to be pretty damning if they just sweep you again here.
And then plus you might be saving strats for the major, but we're not going to do all that. Anyway, speaking of strats and strategery, I know y'all like that one out here in Texas. We're going to hear from Brolin. Let's do it.
Back in the grand finals, of course, Brolin, you go up against a team currently on a 29-series streak. This is their 6th consecutive grand final. As an in-game leader, what goes through your head when you know you've got such a beast on the other side of the server?
I think it's just a pure mental game. I think they're obviously one of the of course, they're playing a really insane CS, but I think it's just pure mental. I think Messi said it as well, that when we're playing them, it's based on the mental game. But yeah, I will see how it goes. But we are really prepared, and we are really hungry to win this.
Obviously, you're very familiar with them as opponents. I want to throw it back to the last time you faced them in a grand final. Obviously, it was at Lisbon. Went all 5 maps. You were even up 2-1 at one point after getting 13-0'd on that first map. Can you tell me the biggest takeaways you had from that final versus Vitality?
I tried to get, I mean, of course, I had the hunger of all maps. I mean, of course, it's going to be a really long day, and hopefully it's going to be any 3-0 for us, of course. But yeah, we just need to keep up the pace, keep up the hunger to win the game, and have the, like, of course, just try to always want it more than them, basically.
Since that point in time, where's the biggest area that you've improved as an in-game leader since that Lisbon matchup?
Everything, I feel like. I mean, obviously, calling-wise, try to prepare as much as possible for the games, and yeah, be in the zone basically, and try to reset as soon as possible after the rounds, like freeze times and these things. So yeah, it's just basically everything. But yeah.
I think you've been proving that definitely here in Dallas, having not dropped a map so far up until this grand final. And looking at Vitality, do you think they look beatable? Are they in beatable form right now?
It's just, I think I said before, I think it's pure mental in some scenarios. I think past two matches we have been pretty closer than before. Since we've been actually like winning maps basically, but I think Vitality, when they are facing people, they are a mental advantage like since the beginning of the game. So get it flowing and try to always have the hunger to win. And
very excited to see you guys in the server.
Kahit 30 lang, 30.
And let's focus a little bit on that journey here in Dallas. We've all come down here several times here for the Intel Extreme Masters, but for this year and for these two teams, Vitality has made it to the finals before.
Vitality was here last year, same time. They had a close engagement yesterday with Falcons, actually, pushed to the edge. 13-11 on that third map. Same thing against Mongols, actually, in the arena, 13-11 to close out the series there. So dropping maps, very close affair where they could have gone out. MOUZ, on the other hand, haven't dropped the map yet.
No, and obviously that's something they have to keep on to. Obviously, they have to farm a bit of confidence from that. I do think a lot of the maps they have played, though, have required them to go the full distance. A couple of the comebacks they've made throughout this tournament, the one against Falcons as well, I believe they're down 12-5 on Mirage, have to fight their way back into it. You can look at that in two different lights. Obviously, a massive comeback, massive resilience shown against a world-class team like Falcons, but also a bit of weakness in the sense that if you go down 12-5, you didn't play a good game up until that point. So as much as I want to hype up MOUZ having not lost a map, I think there's been too many close maps for me to say that they're dominating so far, but they're looking good.
Yeah, but you look at you look at Vitality. They play against the same two teams, Mongols and Falcons, who actually push them 13-11 final map. They lose map 2, right? But MOUZ plays the exact same two teams. Sure, you might say 13-11 it's too close, 11-round comeback to win 16-12 in overtime against Falcons. That it's not good enough, but it's still a 2-0. So there's something to look at. There's resiliency. There's some sort of thing to push them over the edge. Whereas Vitality,
it's not that it's not good enough. It's more so that it's not dominating your opponents.
But MOUZ played Falcons in the group stages and Mongols in the playoffs, which was the opposite for the side of Vitality. So they got them when they're weak, while Vitality had to play them where they're strong. I think that takes that into account. And listen, here I think it's gonna have to be. Braun was talking about the mental. It basically means the players need to have the mental strength to play the way they do in groups or even in other playoff games in this grand final. It's going to come down. Your protocols, your strategies are not going to save you from Vitality. You have to be able to take risks as an individual, to take space, to react, because they can make the game chaotic. You know, Apex, at times when you take some risks, whether you're going to stack bomb sites, re-aggress, right, you're going to constantly have to Counter-Strike is just educated guessing the entire time. You're dealing with imperfect information, and sometimes you're going to be wrong, you're going to get punished for it, you're going to lose an important round. But you can't lose faith. You have to keep going for it. You have to keep playing active, good Counter-Strike. And sometimes for MOUZ, you know, they get into their shell. If they get shut down early, or if they start winning, but then the other team comes back, like that's where they start playing constrained. Like they're not as free-flowing anymore, and that's when other teams have no trouble playing against them.
Yeah, when you play, like, when you talk about the A game and the B game, when you play normally and you have that confidence to go and do these pushes all over the place and it works out for you, then everything's all like smooth sailing. But as soon as that doesn't work 1 or 2 times, that's when it's like you have to be able to fall back to something else, because you can't just be like, okay, this didn't work, so I'm not going to do it anymore, because at that point you're playing not to lose instead of playing to win. And if you don't know how to play that style as well, if you haven't developed that part of your play style, then now you're completely off kilter, and that's when things start to spiral out of control. So you need to keep doing the same confident plays. But we've seen that from these guys recently, where they can make these plays and keep that confidence. I guess it does in part matter how their start goes, but as Brawlin was talking about, you know, one of these head-to-head matchups that they've had was kind of when Brawlin just took over the in-game leading role, and maybe he wasn't good at helping the team reset after a bad round loss, and now he's more equipped, and maybe everyone's more equipped now that Spinks has had more time in this roster.
But let's be completely honest, right? The reason why Vitality have been beating MOUZ all these times is because individually they are the better players, they are the better team. I think that has changed a little bit throughout this tournament. When you have Torsi playing at that level, when you have Spinks playing at a high level, then your point is excellent, right? We need to see them do that in a grand final. We need to see them do that in the playoff. But I think in this specific game right now, with Vitality lack of practice, with Saimu not having a great tournament, the individual playing field is evened out a little bit more now, which gives me more confidence in MOUZ actually pulling up the.
I don't think it has changed. I just think MOUZ players are in a little bit better form this tournament. Zaiwo and Robs are still the 2 best players, and it is players on the server, and it is guys like Exertion and Torji that every event is another chance for them to prove to us that they are elite, right? They are the next generation of your, Exertion is the next generation of your Nico and your space-taking riflers and your aggressive riflers. Torji the same thing in the opping department, right? So every tournament, every grand final is another opportunity to prove yourself.
And I'll just put this one out there too, because obviously there's a lot of familiarity in the server, and I'm talking about a little bit of the idea that Spinks did used to don that Vitality jersey. So now you're going up against them in this grand final, and what is the final boss currently in Counter-Strike, we can call Vitality that.
Yeah, he's been having a tough time in playoffs so far on the side of MOUZ. We can see that he did perform a little bit better in groups when he was on the side of Vitality. In the grand finals, it fell off a little bit. But here, he hasn't really found his footing. But this event, we talk about kind of like recency. Their form this event is really good, and that's kind of giving me hope. I think realistically what it comes down to is the start of the game. You know, if we end up talking about maps, like where's Inferno going to fall? The last time they went in the best of 5, Inferno was the first map, it was like 13-0. Or sorry, that wasn't the last time they played. I think it was close to like 13-9 or 13-7, something like that. But the time before that was a 13-0. So getting a little bit better every time. It's all about where that map is going to lie, because that's been the weak point for MOUZ, and it's been exploited here as well at this event so far.
Yeah, Jacob, you can't get much lower than 13-0. So
no, that kind of sucks too. To start a grand final losing 13-0. Let's be completely honest. But when you look at the map pool and when you look at how they played head-to-head as well, it does kind of suck for MOUZ, because there's not a lot of different ways to go for them. There's one map that sticks out from this graphic right here, and that's obviously Mirage. Out of all the maps they played against each other, the 5 ones that we're going to see tonight, because there's 2 permabans, we don't need to talk about them. But Mirage is the one map where MOUZ can come in and be like, that's our ticket into this matchup. That's the golden ticket to remain competitive and continue that win streak. Now, Vitality is a good team on Mirage, but we have seen MOUZ beat them 2 out of 3 times. And then there's a couple of maps in here that, yes, you look at Vitality, times out of 4 in Inferno. I don't think that's going to change.
Vitality case. Let's go. May ano pa 10 minutes pa eh. Monkey business. 5-7. Uy, Sailport 3-2-2. 3-2. Ay pala, may B2 na pala. Wait lang. May B2 na.
Finals has to be 3-0 or 3-1. I think if it gets into another long 5-mapper, that's where the experience from Vitality kicks in, if they can just hang in there, right? I don't know what Vitality is going to do. I don't think they're going to pick Train after how it went yesterday for them against Falcons. Probably going to stick to Inferno with how comfortable that has been throughout the matchup against MOUZ.
But I think that's exactly why it matters. I think it matters for MOUZ to get up to a good start, because I agree with you. If MOUZ is not winning the first couple of maps or getting into a 1-1 scenario or 2-1 scenario, I also don't believe they're going to go all the way to 5 maps and have that resiliency and keep believing in winning, because they've seen that before. They see what happens. So for MOUZ to get off to a good start is mega important.
I actually agree with Jacob here for once maybe. I feel like usually like when you look at the decider match, it's usually like the last map of a BO3, the last map of BO5. I think Inferno is going to be the decider map here, not in terms of where it falls in the sequence here, but it's that if MOUZ is able to pick that map up, I feel like that is the turning point. If MOUZ get that map, they can win the series. Without that map, I don't think it's possible.
Honestly, I also would have liked to see MOUZ pick T-side on Dust 2, right? Like just come out of the game creates with you having control of the game, you dictating where the fights are going to happen. But, you know, in the grand scheme of things, might not matter all too much. And also just vitality, man. Like we've been talking about, ZywOo hasn't, you know, no one's been lights out. You know who's been very good? Flamesy and Mezzy.
Yes.
Like, this is just crazy. They have two of the most overqualified support players in the world, it seems like, right? Like, they're in a perfect situation where all eyes are on ZywOo and Robs in the in-game performance. Then you have Apex being the loud guy that he is, takes a lot of spotlight on himself. That's perfect for these two guys. They can just fly under the radar, sort of play. Mezzy especially has had a resurgence with Robs taking some of the anchor roles. He can be more mobile. That suits him a little bit better. And they are the two players that have sort of made up for a little bit of a drop-off from ZywOo and Robs.
Let's hear from that Mezzy fella. He's a merry fella. Let's hear from him.
Vitality once again back in the grand finals here at the Intel Extreme Masters Dallas. Mezzy, we've been talking a lot about you guys as a team, but I just want to poke a question in terms of your individual form. How close to peak Mezzy have we seen so far here in Dallas?
I think there's still a long way to go. I think I'm showing more consistent form, a much better like floor level in this year so far. But I think peak, I think I've still got a lot more to show for sure. I think I can be much better individually for sure.
Rob's had a really nice interview quote where he said he feels like you guys are mentally a step ahead of every other team. Has there been anything that you guys have been doing, you know, behind the scenes, outside the server, to make sure your mental is always super sharp, always in check?
I mean, nothing special. I mean, all the talks, I think we're super open as a team and not afraid of conflict. I think it's important to be able to say what is needed, and if anyone feels uncomfortable, and just to say whatever they feel. And I think everyone in the team is really comfortable in doing that, and also the staff behind the team. Jack, our performance coach, is doing a great job on make sure that we're ready for these type of games. And of course, when you're winning and we have the streak that we have, I think it always plays a mental aspect in terms of when you go up against a team that you've beaten multiple times already. It kind of plays on that as well. So I think for us, we just kind of past experiences also help build that mental strength as well.
Got a hell of a lot of experience under your belt. When you come off a semi-final that finishes, what, 7:30, 8 o'clock last night, what's happening with the Vitality camp, right? I heard from Apex, he goes straight into the server, he's reviewing the demos. What about you? What's your routine prior to coming into a grand finals that starts maybe a little bit earlier than we're used to, right?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just trying to get as much time in the game as we can. I think, so for me, it's just, I like to play just deathmatch. So for me, it's, yeah, after the game last night, straight back to the practice room, get some deathmatch in. Also important to get good rest, good sleep. I think it's a best of 5, so it's all. It's going to be, you never know how long it can last. It's going to be, it could be all 5 maps, and we've got to be ready for that. So make sure we're well rested and mentally strong for this game, because it can always be really exhausting. So yeah, get the timing in the game, but also prioritize sleep as well.
One more question before I let you get back to your aimbots that you're doing there. You have your family out in the crowd. Anything you want to say to them before you head into the game?
Just hopefully we can win in front of them as well. I think, yeah, I just want to, I'm just happy they can share this experience as well and enjoy it in front of this crowd as well. So just a big shout out to them for all the support, and let's get the win.
Shout out to you as well, Mezzy. Best of luck in the game.
Well, I told y'all he was a merry fella, and that's because he can barely keep that smile off his face. But if you're Vitality, it makes sense. You do happen to be winning just about everything. We just covered them going ahead and picking up that ESL Grand Slam. And guess what? They have the chance to run it all the way back.
You know what I like about this whole Vitality entering Dallas with no practice, no lead-up, you know, taking a vacation leading into the tournament. They're also treating the tournament a little bit more chill, and I feel like you sense that in all the interviews, you sense that in everything they're saying. Obviously, they had to win. Obviously, they had to compete. When you're in a grand final, you're going to give you a 100%, but Messi bringing the family, making sure that it's a nice and lenient way getting into the major. It does feel like Vitality are treating this as a bit of a warm-up, you know, where you're chilling a little bit more. You're maybe not preparing as hard as you normally do. You're not practicing as hard as you normally do, which should give a little bit more of that eager and more of that motivation heading into the Austin major. Yet we're still seeing Vitality in the grand final. Yet we all agreed that our favorite to win this entire thing. And it gives me flashback to the good old Astralis days, where they were doing the exact same thing, where certain tournaments they didn't prioritize high enough, they brought family, they brought girlfriends, and then when they were showing up for the majors, that's when they were giving their 100%.
That is true, but at the same time, it's like, if they actually win here, if they take this one seriously, it would be a chance for them to win 2 ESL Grand Slams within one, just in 2025 alone. And the same thing happened last year, where they choked out the finals, and then they weren't able to you know, it took them a while. It took them longer to be able to get tap going, actually, because MOUZ is the other team that everyone talks about how close they are out of the server, how they're able to get along, and it's really important these days for kind of all 5 people to be on the same wavelength in that regard. And the other thing on top of it is just how the best of 5 is. It's going to be exhausting. It's going to be an endurance race, and how do people kind of manage their energy throughout that entire portion? It seems like Vitality are pretty good with how they manage their sleep and manage their exercise.
With each Vitality game from here on out, we're witnessing history in the making. And history doesn't happen overnight, right? Like, the core of this team has been together for 2 years now. And it started by bringing in FlamZ after you won a major to replace Dupree, the 5-time major champion. That took some guts, you know, to do that. And they were struggling for results, but behind the scenes, they were putting in the work. They were creating that chemistry. They were building a team. You know, you're bringing in MOUZ, you're like, Messi, like, you know, you sure about that? But that's a guy who's one of the most versatile players out there, who had to in-game lead, who had to do a lot of different things, and just his demeanor was exactly what the team needed. They won 2-3 tournaments immediately after they added him, and then last year was a little bit rough. Internal stripes, Pinks is unhappy, you know, you only have the Cologne win to show for it, which is a massive win, by the way, and then the last piece of the puzzle, right? Drops, also for free, by the way, just like FlamZ, comes in, and to get a player of that caliber on a free transfer, you could immediately see the impact he had the first map of the grand final against Spirit, where he was the best performer. It also frees up ZywOo. He doesn't have all this pressure on his shoulder every single time. It's like, I have to be out of this world for us to win and for us to play well. Like, it allows him to just play the game that's in front of him, and everyone is stepped up. Apex somehow plays better than when he was a star player. He's their 3rd highest rated player in the grand finals. Definitely had maps where he carried his team over the finish line, and that's why they're always going to be tough to play against, and the most difficulty you will have is in the final.
I'm glad you put a bit of spotlight to that, because we often, you know, talk about mismanaging organizations. You know, certain players should have been re-signed, certain players should have been kicked, but Vitality have done a tremendous job. But part of that is also the fact that you have ZywOo. If you have ZywOo in your lineup, and your ups and your contract is running out, you want to join that team, right? It's the law of attraction. If you're nice, if you're good, if you're the best player in the world, everyone want to come play with you, and that's exactly
unless your name is Pinks.
Or I guess so. I guess so.
Look, guys, we have to get to a break here sooner rather than later, because there's this grand final affair that's going on here. It is MOUZ taking on Vitality. I know that Dallas is ready for some Counter-Strike. Is that right?
Yeah.
But are you really ready? Are you really ready? That's the biggest question I'm going to have for you today. Also, we go to a quick break. We come back on the other side of it. We get this bad boy started. Let me get a yeehaw! Yeah.
Wala. Bam, 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 bam. Sorry. The grand finale. Kala ko alas 3. 3:30 pala. Dito Na. Mag-intro din naman sila eh. Hindi nalabas yung apps dito sa YouTube. Ayun pala. Ano ko hindi nalabas eh.
Glory and the glint of silver. The trophy lift on the stage. These are the moments that every Counter-Strike player dreams of. This is what they yearn for when they set foot on this stage. But it's not always the victories that stick with you, but the memories of defeat, the moments where you were so close to this trophy, yet let it slip. One of the teams about to take this stage knows the feeling of defeat here in Dallas, Texas, all too well. And though they've done a lot of winning since, to wash that memory away, one moment still needs correction in their minds. On the other hand, MOUZ have spent the moment watching Vitality stride towards that trophy far too many times.
Let's go, Face Clan!
And every time that's occurred, you know it's added just that little bit of fuel to the fire. A fire now so bright that it might just burn this final obstacle in their path. It's been a hell of a week here in Dallas, Texas. We've had some amazing games on this stage, but now I need to ask you one more time at this Intel Extreme Masters, Dallas,
Talo pa kami, lagi kaming talo eh. Ayop eh, ayaw talaga manalo eh. First day ata kami nanalo o second day? Laglag na. Laglag na pala. Sorry.
Are you ready?
Oy, tanggal ka na. Nico, tanggal ka na.
Agility. Precision.
So far, so good for Messi. He's just tapping heads.
Discipline. Endurance.
And we have to go again. The never-ending war.
Pace.
Yung Eds versus Eds versus Space Clan dati.
Peak performance.
Pitong OT yata yung 8.
The final stretch. To build your dynasty. Frontmans win. Texas.
Dallas.
A peerless streak that may never know
Maghanap
its
ako ng
like,
Pinoy.
but
Maghanap
their
ako ng
work's
Pinoy.
not done.
Uy,
Put your
Philippines!
hands together for Team Vitality!
Bu ba sila, Bu? Hindi dito mo sila, Bu eh.
It's pretty funny to be honest.
Para sila eh.
Every interviews, people say that they will beat us. It doesn't happen yet. We know we're not perfect here. We didn't have the best preparation, but we're still in final. So we know that we have the hurt, and that's the most important for me here. As I said, I think we're gonna lose at some point. It's normal, and we can't win all the time. We're not thinking we are the big guy around there, and we're just giving our best at each game once again and try to win as much as we can. We just expect close game against them. They're a great team. They play great Counter-Strike, so we're gonna be sure we're gonna give our best, no matter what.
Aray. Vitality. B for victory. V is for Vitality. This will be delivered by the 6th event in our pang 30. Let's go, pang 30. Pang 30. Get that 30, bro! Ah, yun pala yun. Get that 30, bro pala to. Get that 30, bro.
Too often the bridesmaid, but now might be their moment to step into that spotlight themselves. It's the moment for MOUZ!
Feel about facing Vitality? Well, there is some storyline to it. We played against each other a couple times. They came on top every single time, which is definitely annoying. So I'm just really hungry for revenge. I want to beat them, and that's it. If we have what it takes to beat them, 100%. We were really close in the last couple games.
Sakto yung meme, sakto yung meme. Get that 30, bro!
100% confident that we can beat them. Yesterday against the Mongols, you were not cheering for us, and it's fine. But just remember, fuck you, Apex.
Fuck you, Apex. Ay, maganda, dalawang team na binubu sa sa tournament. Oo, kung sino ibubu ngayon. Parehas eh. Kung sino yung cheer ng crowd, yun ang matatalo. Parang ganun eh. Wala, hindi ko kasi pwede ma-pass forward, boss eh. Live kasi yan eh. Pwede lang start na agad eh. Yan ko may mid-delay sponge. Ha? Oh. Ay, PPM mo na lang ESL. Pa-start na. May nagagalit na dito sa comment section, ha? Ang tagal daw. Paupuin nyo na yan. Eh ma, may pa-montage pa. Paupuin nyo na yan, tsaka mag-start na tayo. Sabi ni Boss Bench. Ayop na yan. Oh, 1-0 na, 1-0 na.
It was really weird to see the crowd started booing us when we entered, but also Dallas just cheered for the Mongols and they're not even playing today. So who knows?
3-1 ba tayo? Oh, 3-1, naka-3-1 kami, 3-1.
And away we go. Imagine that. Grand final right here, right now.
Oh,
Yanko,
sino
let's
kayo
get into
bubu
your
nyo?
wheelhouse, buddy.
Sino yung
Let's
bubu?
start talking about Dust 2 just a little bit.
Yeah, I think for MOUZ, they're going to have a good start. But they picked to start on the CT side, so it's going to be to Vitality.
Let's go Mongols pa rin!
MOUZ has to
Let's
start
go
aggressive.
Mongols
They
pa
have to
rin!
be really fast with their reactions. They have to show Vitality that this time it's going to be different.
This time is going to be a difference, and the man that can make that difference is none other than Torsi. The
Let's go Mongols pa rin sa finals.
He's been shown to be very assertive, very aggressive, and has involved himself
Mongols
in
na
an
Mongols
awful
yung
lot of
cheer
opening
talaga
goals
dito.
throughout the tournament as well. Now he is going
pa
against
ng Mongols.
who so far haven't had the best tournament, but when we speak of not having a great tournament for Saivu, he's still at a 1.19 rating, I believe, and that's by no shape of the imagination
nalaglag puro ano, na-choke sila sa ano eh.
MOUZ has a chip on their shoulder. They want to beat Vitality so bad because they've lost to them in the head-to-head in Grand Finals already 2 times this year. Whereas Vitality, they're just like, it's just another tournament that we're in the Grand Finals of and we're probably going to win it again. They're probably just walking in here, relaxed, chilling, and that could actually play in their favor a lot. But if they don't take MOUZ seriously and realize how badly MOUZ want to actually beat them, they might not be ready for MOUZ to come out swinging. And I'd love to see them do what Yanko was talking to. Just come out and be aggressive, get in their face.
And let's be completely honest, right? One of the only things we haven't spoken about just yet is the in-game leader duel between Apex and Brolan. And people may forget, because Brolan is off to such a good start for MOUZ, that he's done a good job, but he's experienced, and he's experienced in losing Grand Finals. He hasn't really won too many within the MOUZ camp, and I think for Apex, that's something he's going to feast on.
They have fallen off. Vitality was here last year, losing to G2, but Exertion and Torji were both here 2 years ago when that MOUZ lineup lost to ENG.
Panalo dapat ako dun, boss.
Will lift the trophy
isang
today.
panalo lang
Is
yung
MOUZ
Mongols.
going to be able to step up and break the streak of Team Vitality?
Well, all I do know, Yanko, Steel, Pimp, is thank you very much for that. And I know
Ako,
that it's time
kala ko
to get this
3 AM
grand final
putukan na.
underway. Dallas, hello!
Wala eh.
Let's play some
Alam ko nga rin,
Counter-Strike,
alas 3 eh.
shall we?
Eh, nag-live na ako alas 3 eh.
Vitality.
3:30 pa pala. 3 pala yung simula lang ano.
One more match, Dallas Grand Finals.
Ay, Mongols pa rin oh.
Once more into the breach
tayo
for MOUZ.
Pinoy,
Once more
Pinoy.
to stand up against the demons they have been unable to defeat all year. 5 straight series
Hanap lang ako,
wins for
Pinoy.
Vitality in this head-to-head. 2 of them in Grand Finals.
Ay,
MOUZ
tropa ko
has
to,
not
tropa
been
ko to,
able
si
to
Brolan,
turn the
tropa ko
corner,
yan.
but
Kasi
earlier
7-11 yan eh.
today, that is the edge MOUZ would need heading into the major. For Vitality,
may bili kami lagi 7-11 yan sa
they
Singapore eh.
marching forward, undefeated for 121 days. No one has been able to
Ayun na,
topple
pasok
them.
na. 30
They
seconds.
step into the major looking like an unprecedented, historically great team.
Over 120 days of winning. But Vitality's last
3-2.
3 best of 5s have gone to all 5 maps. We're in for a good show. And every year we come to Dallas, you guys
15.
deliver. So as
Saan
we
tayo,
get
map
into this
1?
grand final,
Dust 2,
show us
Vitality,
what
Vitality minus
keeps
3.5.
coming back to Texas.
Makakaisa ata yung mouse sa ano. Baka sa Mirage nga. Sa map 2, sa map 2.
Live into the pistol round. MOUZ defending on the CT side. Spinks is going to get a little bit frisky.
Give.
Towards Xbox, and you've got Vitality.
Live na.
Grouped up into the B tunnels, all 5 players. That's going to be Jimmy they're attacking into, and it looks like they're wasting no time.
Impact
Jimmy!
under a little bit of pressure.
Jimmy!
Even more so now that his teammate is gone down.
Jimmy!
Spinks to step up.
Jimmy!
The Impact, good damage.
Jimmy!
Not bringing down any of his foes as he goes for the reload. Finally,
Ooh!
and plenty of help from Torsi, who comes in with a
1-0
triple
na.
in this
MOUZ,
pistol.
wala na.
And
GG
what
na.
a tournament he's been having. He is rising
GG na,
up. He's
GG na.
becoming a
1-0
star.
na, MOUZ.
And perhaps in Dallas, it will be enough to topple Vitality.
He's a favorite for the DHL MVP after this as well. #1 player rated at the event so far. A good message to send if you're Torji to your team, to your opponents, that you're here to play.
Tapos
The last
by.
time these two teams met in the grand final, it opened up with a 13-0
Lagi strat ng Vitality,
loss
pa-burst
for
by ng
MOUZ. Vitality just absolutely embarrassed them. They've already avoided that fate, and MOUZ gets a chance at a hot start.
Iba na.
Up against just the Glocks of Vitality.
Sorry naman. Ayan na.
Apex getting a little bit of love as he's been all week. Spinks gooshed up.
Oh!
He lost that duel to a Glock. All right, a little bit weird that Spinks taken down by his former teammate, an embarrassing finish.
Aray ko.
Follows next.
Oh, this is way too uncomfortable for MOUZ.
Look at the HP on Jimmy and Torji.
On HP, they're within touching distance, these pistols straight away. Brolin looking to try and clean up. He's the player with health, and he's the player with a kill on ZywOo. Now Apex makes his play out A-long. Rob's winning it short. Brolin coming towards him to fight him, and Brolin needs to unravel this, and he's done so with a double at short. It leaves Apex in low HP.
He just saved the day, but I mean, if you're MOUZ, considering how much you've played Vitality, how much you've lost to them as well, that round had to be so scary. You know you cannot let that one slip. No investment.
1-5 mo.
Vitality, and they've done such incredible damage.
Paksak. 1-5 yan, 1-5, 1-5.
Still not considering the A-bomb site, now aware and should have no issues.
Yep, no issues. Brolin saves the day for MOUZ, and they've already done better than their
opening
round.
Si
The last time they
Tropa
played
yan.
the best of 5 grand final. They got 13-0 by Vitality out in Lisbon in the opening game.
Wala pala akong talo dito kasi manalo.
But MOUZ hoping they can get a strong start into this final, something to play with, something to build with early, rather than playing from behind.
MOUZ yung sinitira nila.
Well, they've got that start. They've got an op out on Torji
MOUZ yung sinitira
immediately.
nila.
Round 3 underway.
Wala na. GG na.
Oh! Right out of the gate. First time with an first shot, and Jimmy's down.
Great work from the ZywOo AWP. And here come Vitality into the B site. No one's there.
No
one's home. They've got the site, and right now, unless Spinks can do something about this in the tunnels, it might just end up being an early safe call, especially with that kill from Apex. They bail out. They can't get back into this round. It is going to be a comfortable start in terms of the gun rounds here for Vitality.
That's a nice easy one. Not even really having to think about it. ZywOo gets the pick. You know it's going to be a weekend B bomb site. Test the waters, and you've got access. Exertion can't put a stop or slow anything after that. So 2-1, Vitality on the point. And back-to-back rounds that are going to be a Lord, they're getting deleted.
Wala pang pira next round.
Flamesy.
Si Jimmy pala meron, tsaka si Spinks.
What a rough feeling that you call a safe call so early. You have 3 weapons still up, and all of those weapons get taken out of your hands. Now Torji trying to hang on to his. They're not coming towards him. They're going to long, and he hides in short.
I like the conversation on the desk too, because normally you'd come into this and you'd mention all the pressure. We could talk with Vitality, all the things they have riding on this, between the ESL Grand Slam for a second times, between a historic win streak, all the various things they have weighing on their shoulders and weighing on their mind. But they've actually mopped the floor with MOUZ a number of times throughout this year. We mentioned 5 series, but it's been so dominant. In terms of the maps across those 5 series, 12 won by Vitality to only the 3 of MOUZ. So, I mean, if you're Vitality coming into this, you're just saying, this is the team we've handled, this is the team we've destroyed and deleted a number of times already. Nothing's changed. We're still 10 times better.
Abas, game 1, game 1.
Boosted, and another shot.
Uy, pares tag.
Both tag. But none to lethality.
And nothing aggressive from Vitality, so MOUZ's defense gets to breathe. Brolin out towards long behind the double doors. Torji in support with the AWP.
Yung trivia kasi dito, ano, kung sino yung sinicheer ng
want to start moving up catwalk.
And Brolin wants to start moving up long.
Sila yung matatalo.
Push into the longhouse, up to the door now.
Minus 2.5 bad game ban? Pwede. Habol ka na, minus 2.5 sana. Vitality, pwede yan.
ZywOo gets away with his life, gets away with one in that exchange.
They know there's a player committed long, so Vitality starts to put a little bit more pressure at short.
Sabi ko kanina, minus 3.5
landing in front of Flames' face.
And there's no smokes on the defense or Molotovs for catwalk, so this hit just has freedom to begin whenever Vitality choose. MOUZ can only lie in wait, knowing exactly what's coming, and the op is out of position. Torji might be trying to hide it over at the B-bomb site.
Ulo lang.
Smokes are up in Flames on the charge in. It's going to be Exertion's Deagle, ready to strike upon them. HP, quickly the headshot in the end, and eventually taken down by Mezzi. Brolin to filter in.
Can he do enough on the end? You better believe he can. Chiming in with Torzy. And now Rops, the savior, comes out from long. Vitality still in this fight because of that. And it's the ZywOo Rops show, the two best players in the server today. Looking to close out the clutch versus MOUZ.
And let the retake begin. Yimfat and Torzy are moving out through the double doors. They're going to wrap around middle. They can go catwalk, they can wrap long. And that's exactly where they're going to go. The second option, they'll have ZywOo's AWP to contend with at Car. No kids on the MOUZ side.
And this new pairing have been winning rounds all season long. Pulling Vitality closer and closer to victories.
Ayun na! Uy!
Shot from ZywOo. Ready for the next fight, but it comes from CT, and so Rops will fall. And MOUZ come back into it. They deny Rops and ZywOo. And it'll be a 3-1 lead for MOUZ.
That's a really, really sick sequence on the retake as well. The peek from CT to take down ZywOo, which activates the long player. The second player at long was never found by ZywOo. So an easy cleanup. And MOUZ keep the lead. And they extended up to 2. Shots exchanged in the early going. We don't get that optimal too often, but Torzy coming over have an impact with the low HP.
Leg shot sa leg shot.
Look at what it means to him as well. Torzy, highest rated player at the event. Chasing down this trophy.
Oo nga pala, highest rated
He's got the long spawn, so he gets to bring the AWP out.
Dallas.
Let's see if Apex can grab the opener. And just about misses out on taking Torzy down. The AWP returns to the hands of ZywOo.
One more.
Both teams really labored in terms of their money, so this round has massive implications moving forward of what they're going to be able to bring to the fight in the next couple rounds. Winner of this can go on a little bit of a streak. Apex and Flamesy taking control of Catwalk.
Torzy lying away. Molotov going to land in front of him. Oh, doesn't see his opponent, takes the shot as Apex starts rattling off a couple of his own. Torzy knows to pull the trigger. Flames up short. He'll be here all half long.
Yeah, MOUZ trying to fool him, try to put up a little different weapon in the defense after they've spotted the op, but Flamesy just too prepared. He was sharp yesterday with impactful openings, starting out Dust 2 that way as well. 3 kills for Flamesy in the 5 rounds of play so far, and Spinks coming in for a flank, cutting the map off, shrinking it for this defense, and MOUZ is going to start to know everything that's happening.
Torzy coming away with Flames, no problem. Spinks is flanked. Oh, it's going to get spotted. It's going to get unraveled. Drops for the kill down into the lower tunnels. 40 seconds left. And Vitality think about leaving short and dropping back into middle. Impact will be the man tasked with dealing with this, spotting this.
Yeah, I like that he got away though, because that was an awkward position that he was committed to. Now he can fall into the B-bomb site and he's going to call them over. 1 lurker in mid, 2 coming from tunnels.
Car.
Impact gets in behind Car.
Car, Messi.
He knows he's got the support of Torzy watching that mid lurk, so he can focus fully on the tunnels fights. And here they
nice
come.
check. Nice check.
First. Rops comes
nice check.
On that mid plate, and just Torzy left. Rops is just baiting him out, and eventually the final shot rings in. It's ZywOo to close on it.
Good.
And a second round for Vitality.
Good.
Look how fast it can come crumbling down. MOUZ at one point with an advantage in terms of manpower, with all the information on the map, knowing exactly what execute they were facing. Rops gets 1 kill on the flank, and the round opens up in a big way. And Apex is able to call his team back to the B-bomb site for an easy waltz-in victory. Unfortunately for MOUZ, it's them who have the economic, the money problems. Pistols, an MP9, and a scout. And a fast long take from Vitality. They just don't have the resources to fight back.
Yeah, very fast, and Rops gets down into the pit, no problem.
Uy, maulo ka dyan.
Mezzi spotting the push from Yimpat.
One tap.
Knows that he lost tunnels control. MOUZ don't have the weapons to fight at that kind of range, so they're going to have to sit back, allow Vitality to come to them.
Uy, heading. Nag-practice kasi kanina eh. Nag-practice kanina sa
That's a huge block.
Football eh.
That's actually everything for MOUZ at the moment. Complete vision. It's going to get re-smoked, but now the flashbang's set up.
Flash to allow the swing.
Sarap ng flash sana.
Roland only getting 1. With 55 seconds, that bomb site is taken by Vitality. And Torzy can't do much about the outcome, so a tie game we have here, 3-3.
Vitality seems so composed and so calm so far in this game. It's been a very cool look and a very cool conversation considering, I mean, the eye test for Vitality, and everyone kind of feels like this event more so than any other they've played, and they've looked the most mortal, but still nobody able to beat them. And that's a scary prospect when you think, you know, we heard Apex talk about, we're not as well prepared. We took a little bit of a break. We needed a couple extra days before we go on a crazy grind. So they didn't, it wasn't as hardcore coming into Dallas, but they're still handling everyone that comes up against them, which is just so intimidating for other teams.
Yeah, it's not surprising to see them composed, though, as this is their 6th championship Sunday where they've been playing in the grand finals. And when we talk about Vitality, one of the things that always comes up is about the mentality that they've got. And that was the big conversation between both of the in-game leaders today coming into the event, right? Is this final is all about mentality. Brolin was saying that every day they're beatable. Every game, Vitality are beatable, but it comes down to the mentality in these grand finals. And Messi was saying that that's the advantage that Vitality have over every other team right now.
It's the advantage you get when every game is high pressure throughout this 29-match win streak, looking for 30 today.
Not going to be too much resistance in the next round either here for MOUZ. They don't have a whole lot going into it.
Which is great because Dallas, I want to have a chat with you guys. I usually try to get a sense during the walk-ins of which way you're leaning, but it was a little bit confusing today. Out there in the crowd, are you guys rooting for MOUZ to win this championship?
Vitality. Pwedeng ano. Pwede MOUZ, maka-i-rush eh. Uy, tag na naman. Pwede MOUZ, pwede MOUZ. Pwede MOUZ, pwede MOUZ.
There's an equal number of cheers and boos both ways, and I'm very confused.
What about Apex? All right, well, Rob straight through mid. It's going to be Torzy going down. And the opening fight here for Vitality is won. There's not going to be too much to get through at this point. Exertion and Upac going to push into the tunnel, so give it a good go. But Vitality about to grab the lead here on Dust 2.
Ooh.
Up next, Mirage. MOUZ's pick into the best of 5.
Yeah, this will be Vitality's first lead of the game as well, but they're starting to build up quite nicely. Look like they're not having any issues moving around the map. Changing things up when they encounter difficulty. It's going to be 4 of the last 5 in Vitality's favor.
30 sa paa.
I mentioned the map score across the series in 2025, 12-3 in the favor of Vitality. Dust 2 is one of the maps that MOUZ has been able to take off of them. 13-11 back in that Lisbon Grand Final. But Vitality won the 3 Dust 2 matches previous to that. So there's just no real cool advantages that MOUZ can look at and feel like they have.
A pretty tempered start into the final as well here. The gun rounds have looked very solid from Vitality. Some damage on the way out, trying to hold on to the AK. But even that is taken out of their hands.
Best of 5 ba to?
That's a dangerous side in this arena.
The rifles coming out for MOUZ. No AWP yet.
Pag nagtuol to, end live ko to.
Talking about how pivotal that is, how important
especially on this too. So critical to have an op that's able to move around the map and hold the angles, and not with that luxury at the moment. They're gonna have to fight it back and maybe pry it out of ZywOo's hands. Round 8, smoked across the double doors. ZywOo is gonna take an early angle into the B bomb site.
Tapon mo na yun, wala na rin yan. Sa'yo naman.
A shot from ZywOo.
Sa'yo naman.
Does force a piece of utility out early, which is a nice thing for Apex to think about as he works this round. He knows the late B, they're gonna be missing a smoke. Now utility to look like they want to take Catwalk. It's only Flamesy though, and he's just throwing it as a fake. They've taken Cat a number of times in this half. This time they're passive with it. Down mid we go. Double doors smoked off just as Vitality gets 4 players in position. Feels like that's the idea that they wanted to take, now denied them by the utility. So time burns off the clock as Vitality wait this out. Break the smoke to check for information.
Oh. Vitality.
Trickling the smoke out mid and now accelerating into the B split. Spinks waits behind Car, pops his head up and gets it popped off. So Yimpat, the only player left, he's gone, and these rounds just feel too easy for Vitality.
Well, there's no disruption at the moment. This is a very passive round for MOUZ. They sit far back, and they kind of have 2 players parked at long, 2 players parked inside B, no one with eyes on mid. So, I mean, Vitality had so much freedom at all times to work that map. Even when their like ideas are denied, there's no one actually pushing into them, trying to find a kill, trying to do damage, and gathering information. So Vitality got a relatively easy round with not a whole lot of pressure. And Brolin is found out at the end of the day.
Well, the problem is right now for MOUZ, these rounds are so easy for Vitality and they win them so quickly. They have enough time and enough money to hunt them down. So you're not even getting to see MOUZ hold on to these 3 weapons, which you so often see on Dust 2. So if you call off the B retake opportunity, you at least have 3 safe weapons. You can get another buyout, but there's no mercy from Vitality right now. And so these rounds just keep getting easier.
It's got to feel really rough for MOUZ. I would imagine we're going to get a timeout in the next gun round. But I mean, coming into this after the group stage they had and how good they looked, how cohesive they looked individually, how strong everyone was. You come into another grand finals on the big stage and open up with a flat performance, and you're just sitting there as those players. You're like, not again. How can we not get over this? And they've got to show Vitality that's a different MOUZ. They haven't done it yet.
At Hotmail. At Ymail. Meron. Ymail.
Once again, MOUZ starting to push into double doors. Patience from Vitality. Spots out the 1 jiggle peek. Damage is done. Sees 2 more. Kills them all.
Spinks waits on the A-bomb site, just hiding behind the default boxes, 5-7 in hand. This pistol can be deadly.
Hey.
And Spinks shows us why. Robs to respond from short though, and Yimpat once again alone in a 1v4. He's all the way back on B with a scout. They don't show him anything in the early round, and that bomb goes down. So Vitality up 6-3 now at this point. The scoreline is just kept beating forward.
A very convincing 6-3 as well. Only losing 4 players in the last 3 rounds. Yimfat's going to fall away with the scout. Shouldn't be able to save it, but next gun round is everything for MOUZ. Next gun round is where you can still recover this. I'm assuming there's going to be a timeout from Cyclone, and that'll be the conversation to inject some energy into the team. And then you're going to look towards your individuals who have been playing so well for you. We mentioned Torji as the #1 rated player of the event so far. Well, Spinks is #2, and Yimfat is #7.
There's a timeout you were talking about, Jason, needing to get it out early here for MOUZ because they've fallen flat. It's been 5 rounds in a row here for Vitality. None of them have felt competitive.
Well, MOUZ, their conversations. Torji has the back in his hands. Still looking for some of those incredible performances we got in the group stage from Spinks. 3 kills, Exertion, a huge piece of this MOUZ puzzle, 2 kills. Very important players having quite starts to dust
What's the point anyway? Walang Mongols, walang Falcons.
Cyclone trying to calm everyone down. Trying to keep his team composed. A 3-round lead, going to be challenged in round 10. The buy is back. It's going to be Brolin coming out long just for utility. Narrowly, a narrow glimpse of the arm that Apex misses.
Yeah, second time he's had the opportunity to go for the long pick. He'll give the all back to ZywOo immediately. I'd rather throw it down on the ground. They've got so much money. ZywOo is going to be over at B. Looking for the jumping Yimpat. He's not going to put himself in dangerous way. He's going to smoke out ZywOo.
I like this defense, though, from MOUZ in this round. If you look at the minimap, it's far more aggressive than what we've seen previously. Exertion was just playing close up on catwalk, throwing utility. He's backed off, but you have Spinks close double doors. You got
4.5,
with the
3.5
they're paired up. So you have players in positions to grab information, to listen to sound cues, and to activate with flashbangs when you feel the moment is right.
Didikit pa to eh. 3.5 or 2.5. Yun lang.
Up catwalk we go. Flamesy leading the way. Molotov is going to delay the attack. ZywOo paired up with him. Torji's op, nowhere to be found. It's on the B bomb site, away from the action.
Oh, Rops has found the gap in mid. He's trying to move through the smoke, getting in towards CT. A risk from Rops.
Or pwede naman ngayon, mamaya ulit.
25 seconds.
Ding-dong na lang muna.
Eventually, it has to be the push forward from Vitality. Spinks very aware, but how long can he hold this? How long can he think about this? He'll call it off now and go back to short, allow Impact to deal with the potential of drops. Spinks tries to stop that bomb from getting to the site. 10 seconds for Vitality. They're now just arriving, and the shutdown comes in. 6 seconds for Messi. No bomb at his back. Round's done. MOUZ will go up to 4, finally ending the streak of Vitality's round wins here on Dust 2. And they just run thin on time, and so it has to be a perfect finish, and it just isn't from Vitality.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good job from MOUZ out of the timeout as well. The words from Cyclone really helped out, obviously, with this 4th win. Vitality gets stalled out due to good utility usage from MOUZ. I feel like a lot of that comes down to having Spinks close towards double doors, able to listen to their tracking, like where they're going, their pathing, the timing in which they're taking different parts of middle, and they're able to deploy enough delay utility on Catwalk to make that a very difficult hit at the finish. Now we have a fast long play. Aggression at the corner. Mezzi's going to wrap around, jumping in towards mid. And all of MOUZ backs away from the defense. They want nothing to do with the fight. So long controlled by Vitality. Rops lurking on the other side of the map.
Rops trying to stop Impact from taking one step further. He will do so. Scares off the AWP of Torji as well.
Both sides happy to take the stalemate there. But for Vitality, that kind of gives you notice that they're starting to get frisky after that long take, that they know what you've done. You've parked 4 players out there, so they bring 3 back. They change up the approach. Mezzi lurking over, and Pit can buy his time to pop up. And actually, oh, if MOUZ re-aggress here, Mezzi has a chance in this grand final to put his name on Dust 2.
First peek is good. Couldn't get the second, though. Spinks able to respond to his former teammate, and now we've got to play forward with 55 seconds left. 4v4 as Vitality go for a finish-up cat again. This time they'll have Apex coming out long way. Perhaps that'll be the difference.
Yeah, the follow-up behind Mezzi's death is actually really smart from Apex.
Xertion steps out into the open. He's got no cover, and he's got no life. Spinks deals with Apex and long, but all the A defenses have fallen. And so Vitality move into an empty site.
Yeah, good heads up from Spinks. I thought Apex might play that a little bit slower once his teammates got the kill on the bomb site, but keeping things even at a 3-on-3 and controlling long for the retake, it forces Vitality to play towards Catwalk to defend.
Flasher on the corner, Rops looks into the corner to dodge it, comes back, there's a quick headshot from Rops. And is there a second? Well, it looks like Torzi is not going to get away with it. 2 players pushing down short, and once again, MOUZ lose everything.
They cannot build any momentum. They're just not good enough to string them together. They won round one and round 2. That's the only 2 rounds they've put back and forth together. This has been so dominant from Vitality after the pistol.
But if you somehow win this last round, due to the start that MOUZ had, you know, you have a nice buffer, a nice foundation built up. Even though this hasn't been a great half by any means in terms of the gun rounds, because you had 3 rounds early on, if you can win this last round, 7-5 is not a bad scenario.
Yeah, scoreboard-wise, it wouldn't look bad. Obviously, having seen the game play out, Vitality's just been so dominant once the guns became a factor. The rifles were brought out.
Got to give yourself a shot for the second half, though, MOUZ. Can they squeeze a 5th round out here? They've got the weaker buy. Holes in it. Lack of utility. SMG's a scout.
Doubled up in middle. Spinks and Xertion. A new look for the defense. Now doubled up on Catwalk, Brolin, and Torji. Very mid-centric setup for MOUZ. If Xertion and Spinks can slow them down at the mid-double doors, it can set Brolin and Torji up off Catwalk.
Here comes Flights through the doors. Xertion, no problem. Execution with Spinks. And it falls to ZywOo and Rops to close out the half, and so MOUZ will be getting themselves a 5th round. ZywOo and Rops ripping from their head. That is what they're doing. We knew it would be inevitable. Eventually, they would have a round together.
Oh, you spoke way too soon. Got Molotov. It's going to prevent Spinks from getting into the A bomb site. A 5-on-2 into a 2-on-2. MOUZ has got to be stunned.
And how many times do they do this? Rops and ZywOo, who's deadly duo in Counter-Strike right now. Looking to break MOUZ's hearts at the end of the first half of the grand finals. 2 players against your entire team.
You have no kits if you're MOUZ. You have no utility whatsoever, and ZywOo is going to be peeking for information. So you got his AWP you have to scale against.
MOUZ getting closer. ZywOo goes down, so it's Rops to close. What if half he has had? 16 and 6. 18. in the face of Robs, and he just can't do it. He can't keep it clean. Zywin Robs denied at the end of the half, and a fifth round picked up for MOUZ to keep this going. Not a close half by any means in the gun rounds. We'll see if MOUZ can turn it around.
Nag-whip si ano dun. Nag-whip si Robs. Pag long shot, okay siya. Pag short range, ayaw. Ganda niyan. Okay. Hindi muna tayo. 7-5. Skin club na tayo. Ganoon din yun. 2 minutes pa yun eh. Yan, 2 minutes pa yan. Kapit muna tayo ng mga vitality guys. Ito. Muna. Pa naman eh. Ito muna. Vitality case. Makukuha natin sa vitality case. Huntsman lore. Brainstorm na lang. M4. May 1 minute pa naman tayo. Kung gusto nyo rin guys, mag-PM na lang kayo sa... Magkano lang to? Hindi lang pala to. Well worn. PM lang kayo sa page. Sasagot sa inyo dyan. Gusto nyo ng balance? Gusto nyo ng balance sa skin club? PM lang kayo sa page. Oops. Pag nakuha itong malaki. Uy, night wish ano? Saan? 1 minute pa guys, 1 minute pa. Wala pa eh. Makuha ko dito, i-upgrade ko. Ba naman yun? Hit. Upgrade ko. Upgrade to times 5. Alo? Makachamba tayo sa new case. Aray ko. Ako dito, Doppler, Gamma. Uy. Upgrade. Nakasimove na lang. May sinubo daw. Upgrade. Times 2. Ayaw pa rin ha. Malas. Malas naman. Okay, na muna. Ay, malas. Game.
And have Vitality with a 7-5 lead into the second half. Team switch side. Vitality to defend against MOUZ's attack. But the question everyone's got to ask right now, where's the MOUZ
under 20.5 total maps. Safe ba?
Those individuals going to start punching back.
Dapat over mo.
Question they will be asking themselves during that 2-minute break and now we get back into the second half. MOUZ is going to be carrying the brunt of the utility.
Boss, bumibili din kayo
would love a good start in the second half. Injection of energy required to try and close this gap.
It's going to be hard. Vitality want to be a little bit disruptive. You can see Zaru pushing up on Catwalk right now, so holding off on this. He's got some teammates behind him. Apex is there up on the boxes. Robs and Flamesy back in the site, but actually MOUZ is just going to head towards middle, so away from the entire defense. Mezzy's alone at the B bomb site. If they can't do anything to slow this down in mid, Mezzy is done for.
Smoke at the cross. Exertion accelerating Brolin. running in behind him, but it's Mezzi to pick off Impact, and Flames coming through the smoke. No problems here for the early kills of Vitality, but Spinks still into the site.
Worms
coming up. Zaiwu arrives in the tunnel. Spinks in the meantime is given a small chance to fight for the doors. He can't add anything to his collection.
Last one. Farm na.
A further kill and Robs to the window. It is a pistol round for Vitality to kick off the second half.
Actually, Mezzi does a spectacular job in that pistol round. You got to give him credit. You sit in that B bomb site and do nothing, you're just going to get split and taken down. So Mezzi gets aggressive and he says, I got maybe like 10 seconds before I die. I'm going to try and grab one on the way out. He does just that and keeps a lot of space for Vitality to rotate over and get involved in the fight. Beautiful shooting still from Rops. I think a pair of kills to close out this pistol. Just filthy. So MOUZ buy up into the second round with that bomb plant. Running out of opportunities to get into this opening map of Dust 2. Both teams kind of feeling out how the game is going to be played in the early stages of this best-of-5 grand final. And Vitality's come on top of mostly everything, 8-5.
And Vitality understand that MOUZ have a force buy. Get that early information from the mid poke, just seeing that Torzy had the scout towards top middle. We'll give this round the respect it requires.
They're already up catwalk though, MOUZ. They can actually pop on this pretty hard. Apex is going to start shifting, but Brolin wants to peek at this timing. Zaiwu over at the rail. Galil gets M4, and it's Zaiwu to come out on top.
Nice and clean.
Wood.
Inside of mid, it's Mezzi. Topple another. We're looking at Impact Exertion, the final two members here of MOUZ's force buy. They only get one kill so far. Impact will make it 2. He's got an opening to the B-bomb side all of a sudden off of that. He's not sure about it, but he's going to try and make his way through middle. Next up is Zaiwu. Okay, Impact.
That's exactly what they need. We needed a heroic performance from somebody on MOUZ, somebody who could reignite them. Impact with these 3 kills has a chance for it. Flamesy on low HP. Timing is everything. It gets a good clean fight against the low HP player. He can do this.
Oh my God! Impact down to the 1v1 up against Apex. A 1v5. Impact gives him the Jimmy jab, and that is a huge round for MOUZ. The Lone Fin in the Lone Star State.
8-6.
Shirley back at home, his all-star brother smiling as he watches him deliver this in the grand final stage. Monstrous performance out of nowhere. No business winning the round, but MOUZ, you needed that so much.
Oh, if you're given that.
Halftime kasi
That has to be the catalyst.
And look what it's done as well. Introduce the first piece of stress into the Vitality team. Apex furious in the moment of losing a 5-on-1. It should never happen, but now they got to pay the price. 2 scouts, a Deagle, and 2 5.7s for Vitality.
Exertion. Building on the previous round success. Going to be an opening kill on Mezzi. 5v4 now for MOUZ.
I know it's an advantage for MOUZ, but be careful. 2 players are now tagged by those scouts. Yimfat and Exertion are both going to be easy cleanups for the pistols. So you're not out of this just yet, despite taking down Mezzi. MOUZ going to move slowly towards middle with the cover of smokes. Vitality have no clue what's happening on the map, no clue where MOUZ is headed. They have stacked 3 players at the B bomb site. That's looking like the right call at the end of the day.
Pag ba yun? 1 HP lang si Jimmy, oh. Headshot mo, Apex.
Next fight goes the way of Spinks. It's on a nice edge. Impact 1 HP, Exertion down to 30. Still a shot at this for Vitality.
You can tell how tense and nervous MOUZ in, but now they have their final play and they've made noise about it.
Oh, there's 2 players here. It's Robs and Flames. They could double up. They could shut this down. They need to build off of Jimmy's success, and Robs is Deagle.
1v1. Oh, yun
there to save it.
Exertion on his horse to arrive at the B bomb site. Robs almost got into safety. That got weird. And Vitality, with the diminished weaponry, are still able to put up quite a good fight. Nothing is easy for MOUZ in this game, and it's the problem of playing against Vitality as the best team in the world. There's no rounds that come simple. They're always going to have a chance in them. They always find a way to work themselves over and figure out what you're doing.
MOUZ about to tie the game. There's nothing here for Vitality. This is likely to be a very convincing round win for MOUZ. A little bit of damage done on Exertion, but he's still going to win that opening fight.
And for the first time in this game, MOUZ gets to play with momentum. This will be 3 in a row where previously they've struggled to string 2 together. They've done that, and here they'll add another round on it. Yimfad going to grab 2 off Catwalk, continuing his success. 15 kills now for the MOUZ Finn.
As we talked about at the start of this year, Yimpad's performances haven't been as good as they were last season. It's been a step up for the other players in the squad. You know, Spinks coming into the team's getting better and better. But last year we were talking about Yimpad perhaps even becoming the star of the team. He was having those kind of performances. Hasn't necessarily been able to keep that up into 2025, but if he can have a performance like this against Vitality, this could be the way.
Yeah, he certainly had maybe a quiet start, but he's stepped it up since then. Champion at PGL Cluj-Napoca. With the rest of MOUZ, that was Berlin's second event as an in-game leader. It shocked us all to see him lifting a trophy. You look across the stage, if you're Berlin, you see someone who's walked the very same path as you. One time a rifler, a player for your team, just another role player. Switching into the role, Apex did it in 2020, and we all scratched our heads and wondered why. Now 5 years down the road, Apex is considered the best leader in the scene. Brolin, following in those footsteps, has had a very impressive year with MOUZ so far. He's found a way to tie up this opening map at 8-8 in these grand finals.
Vitality back to a bye. Torzi will not be rivaled in the AWP department in this round. Zyro does not have enough money for it. Exertion to be set up to go up on the Xbox and climb into short.
Can Vitality slow this momentum from MOUZ? Can they get it back? Haven't seen them have to even try yet in this map. Now is their first attempt. Apex and Zywu over on the railing. Flamesy over at car, so Long is a little bit weakened. MOUZ taking their time with this too. Being patient, looking for any kind of a peek, any kind of an information, a jiggle from Vitality that's not coming. They're playing a more passive setup, trying to hold on to what little utility they have remaining.
Flames behind the blue bit. Here comes Torzi. Peeking into the rifle of Flames. On top. It's going to be Flames as he tucks it behind. Nice. Some utility. And actually brought beyond it. And eventually we'll trade that out.
Okay, now you have a lot of issues inside this A defense.
Oh my god.
You can't go catwalk. You're boxed in and you've got to fight your way out. Apex can only do the one.
Gets a lot of damage onto the second player as well. Spinks going to continue to move forward. Mezzi trying to track him, but he's getting caught by utility. Blinded by flashes.
One left, one right,
15
one
seconds
side.
left in the round. That ball finally going down.
Kita yung barrel mo.
Nice pick out here from Rox. Is going to free Mezzi up, and then Brolin flicks back to Long.
Grabe yung tropa ko si Brolin. Tropa ko si Brolin.
Into the lead all of a sudden.
It took him 13 rounds to fight back, but now the gun round's going in MOUZ's favor, and now you can see that confidence beneath them swelling. No longer afraid, no longer tentative. The script has flipped.
Money's gone, and it's all off the back of that Jimmy 1v5. It's broken them.
Well, it gives energy to you, and we saw exactly what it did to Vitality. Apex looking down the line as soon as that round's completed, wondering how exactly they lost a 5-on-1. A massive miscue from Vitality 4 rounds ago, and their lead disappears. It's MOUZ regaining it for the first time since round 5. And you're seeing these incredible sequences out of players that we didn't see in the first half. Multi-kills, double spray downs. MOUZ looking to be the first team to reach double digits on the scoreboard. It's pistols and MP9s for Vitality.
Panalo dapat yung mga gusto. Choke lang sila. Dulo. Uy, bulag!
Blinded. Good swing. Exertion going to handle that pressure. Spinks to handle the heat.
Brolin behind the smoke.
Oh, just crouches out the mid doors. Rob's going down to that fight. Leaving just Apex, and he's all the way at Longhouse. So this is 10 rounds for MOUZ.
10 rounds for MOUZ. Who would have thought it? 2-round lead.
Mapapala ang Vitality dito.
Gonna fall last.
Okay, talo din yung minus 3.5 siguro.
5 rounds in a row.
Pwede pa yung 2.5, pwede pa.
This is it now for Vitality. If there's a Dust 2 fight to be had, it comes on this bye.
Yeah, it has to be here. They've been buried in these past few rounds. MOUZ have gained complete control, 5 in a row for the MOUZ attack, and showing no signs of slowing down. But a lot of those have been diminished buys, weakened economy, weakened money for Team Vitality. Now, for the first time in a long time, they've got everything they could possibly want. Rops at the B-bomb site with Mezi over in mid. Flames, Apex, and ZywOo at the A site. And MOUZ grouped up elsewhere. They've left Yimfat in a lurking position alone in T-spawn just to look for long pushes, for mid pushes. This three-man group is going to be packed up, looking to open up the round.
ZywOo not able to connect on his first opportunity. Torzy willed up. Rob's coming away from that B-bomb side. Apex responding in kind of short, but the bomb is shifting back to B.
Yeah, there's no window here for MOUZ to press the issue off that kill. It's a really smart play from Torzy. He waited patiently in upper tunnels. As soon as MOUZ started using catwalk utility and mid utility, that's when he takes his peek, because he knows Rops' reaction is to look for information. They're slowed down by the defensive smoke, but Vitality haven't shifted anyone to help out towards Mezi. He's all alone on an island with no utility.
12.
Very committed in the position he currently stands in. And look how far away the rotates are. Merriman needs to go massive. It's going to be the first. Couldn't get a second. Spinks cleaves his head right off, and they're into the site. 20 seconds on the clock, and we talked about how important this round was for Vitality. Now it's important that they save.
If you can find the lurker, if you can find Yimfat, you might be able to go for this. It'll give you a man advantage. And
now the open window is set up again to come back in for the retake attempt. But Torzy can shut it down. He can shut that window in their face. They're gathering up. They're getting ready to go. There's one piece of utility left, and it's on the back of Apex.
And where do you put it? Okay, big box, so not the right place. Torzy's got safety.
Yeah, Torzy waits back in the side. Nice shot into Apex. They're still going for it now.
Nice one, ZywOo.
Comes in on the shot. It leaves Torzy at the back of the
side.
And the first headshot but it's ZywOo to grab it at the end. But there's no time for ZywOo. There's no hope for Vitality. And Torzy will celebrate a round victory.
Yeah, he's probably a little bit worried after he takes that peek, but either way, great shot to the back of the platform on the first 2 players. And MOUZ, out of nowhere, grabbed control. Now 6 rounds in a row to get up to 11. It's a 3-round lead. And now you've got the trade kills out of Spinks. The clutch from Yimfat to start it all off. And the shots from Torzy to close out the round. Everything we saw from MOUZ in the group stage has come to fruition in these past 6 rounds to Vitality's detriment. And it's their turn to talk things over in desperation. Xtaz trying to bring forward the next idea. The AWP is saved on ZywOo, and when that AWP is in his hands, there's always a chance.
The conversation before this game is all around mentality. Can Vitality stabilize on Dust 2? Can they somehow find a way back? 11-8 down and coming out with 4 MP9s, an AWP for ZywOo. MOUZ have to make it happen. They have to take it now.
Yeah, you've hit this peak form that we've been waiting to see on a big stage in a big grand final. Don't let it slip away. Slow pace, Torzy looking for any peeks off catwalk as they take control. For Vitality with the AWP and 4 MP9s, it's a 3-man stack in the B-bomb site.
Vitality have a feeling it might be a B finish. They've got 3 players positioned in the site.
Yeah, but I think with Exertion investigating like this, there's almost a world where he's just like, there's no one here. Like, I have complete control with no counter nades or anything. I mean, there's a world in which MOUZ can just go contact. Haven't called for it yet. The bomb is still outside of the long double doors. Looks like they'll bring a third player back in Brolin and do a split finish at A. It's Apex and FlameZ to defend, but they've only got the SMGs.
A hit na.
Incredibly hard to see a world in which they get past this unless ZywOo steps up with the AWP on his own. The bomb is waiting just outside of the longhouse as it now starts to come towards him. ZywOo is their only hope.
Flash.
They'll chime in on Brolin.
Pick. Down.
They know they're going against the AWP.
Good
they
pick,
know that's
pick.
the most
Nice
dangerous
one.
weapon on the server still.
One more.
And ZywOo's got a second.
Isa lang. Lahat mamatay. Isa lang.
Wow,
wala na pala. Wala nang time.
Is ZywOo shutting them
Flat mo
down?
na sa car.
He stops them from
Flat mo
getting
doon.
a
Pwede sa taxi yan. Pwede yan. Oh!
Such a weak
Okay
way
lang.
for this streak to end, though. It's so deflating.
sa
Not
taxi.
even a fight in it. Not even a
Ayun pa
chance
sa
or a look
taxi.
at the bomb site.
Dahil pang viewers
That's a body blow for MOUZ. But finally, the run is stopped at 6.
That's a huge round as well. Look at the upgrades that they get as well here. They started this round with 4 MP9s. They have 2 AK-47s now. Going into the next round for Vitality.
Idol ko si Justin Ibarra. Kalabala dyan.
Is that the moment where MOUZ break?
All right, Torji misses his shot on the jump across.
Ay namin viewer yan. Ang away ng mga haters.
It's all right. He won a 1v5. We'll give him a break. Smokes and Molotovs to prevent any catwalk peaks and aggression, and now Brolin starts making his move.
Boss, ZywOo, simple sinugot mo. Jules.
ZywOo, the start of the smoke. It's going to be Flames to come out on top of it. Torzi going down, opening kill for Vitality. Followed up, extended
malalaman pa yan kung si ZywOo na simple sa major. Balikan kita sa major.
5-on-1, you lose 6 rounds straight off the back of it, and eventually you get that one stop you needed, and then you're back in business. Teaching MOUZ a lesson.
Isip ni Jules.
And how many times have we watched MOUZ, some of the players on this squad collapse on the stage? How many times have we watched it? We watched it back in Rio in the Grand Finals versus Na'Vi just in October last year.
There's just no energy in these past 2 rounds. The last round fell flat because they get timed out. 2 kills from ZywOo and they try and execute with 24 seconds. And now this round as well is just like walking into your death and then nothing you can possibly do to recover the round. And look how hungry Apex is. He wants this final AK-47 out of Spinx's hands, and there's no money for MOUZ. Crouching all the way, an experienced matchmaking deathmatcher is Apex.
Rat-rat ako dun.
And he's got a shot, but he's taking one to the head.
I bet you guys enjoyed that though, didn't you? Yeah, you're all sick.
Ayan na! Kita niyo dalawa! Ala ka!
Fair enough.
Ala ka, Spinx!
Spinx!
Bulag na bulag.
He's got $800. He has got $800 left. And we are looking at 10-11. MOUZ with a 1-round lead, but money's in the bin. Vitality have a shot at tying up this game. Not only that, but a chance to grab map point and steal it away from MOUZ.
Oh, beautiful shot from Flames, just boosted up over the smoke. ZywOo peeking aggressively. They've gotten their swagger back and have knocked MOUZ off kilter. Money is gone. And that has a look of just like, man, I wish we could have completed this on a run. I wish we still had a streak going with some momentum.
Uy, binitawan. Sayang.
They wanted to ride Jimmy's wave all the way to victory. But disrupted by 1 round where they walk into ZywOo's AWP. And it gives Vitality enough room.
And now we're going to go the distance, right? Vitality's going to close out this round 11-11. We're going to have 1 round to decide if someone wins or if we're going to overtime already in the opening map of the Grand Finals. And just look, Flamesy's like, I know it's Glocks, but I'm making the smart decision. I'm just backing away entirely, calling for reinforcements. Vitality making sure they don't make any mistakes to close out this map.
Nawala yung map 1 MOUZ, yari ka ngayon.
Shooting gallery for ZywOo. It's going to miss the first.
Oy, 1.
Problem on the second time of asking.
Isa lang.
As he's turning him out and feed and feast upon the kills as Apex gets the triple 11-11. We know what MOUZ are wishing for.
This
but they might not get it. Final timeout used in regulation for MOUZ right at the end. Cyclone getting on the mic,
get that 30,
the winning recipe.
Yeah, well, if you're MOUZ and you're Cyclone, you got to be telling your boys, look at this as an opportunity. We've been looking to gain this mental edge. We've been looking to gain this edge in closing out games. When we get deep into it on the big stages, this is what we've talked about. This is what we've planned for. This is what we've discussed we need to improve. And this is the chance to show to ourselves and to everyone who doesn't believe that we've made the improvements necessary to close out this map. And a new energy coming into round 23. Back to the bravado. Back to activating exertion for aggressive plays. We'll see what Cyclone has in store for them. One team will take an advantage and have a chance of winning the map in the final round of this Dust 2.
MOUZ committed into it with Galil's. A couple of players. A sign of how weak their economy is in comparison to that of Vitality's with the AWP out for ZywOo. Rolling going into the lower tunnels. He's not alone. He's got two teammates with him.
I'm here.
Up catwalk we go, bro. Yimfat watching the flank from behind. Bullets exchange over towards the double doors, and Mezzi wants to get aggressive. Sees the trajectory of the utility, calling it out. Information that catwalk is taken.
Op. First move, ganda ng first move. Buti nga sa'yo. Dalawang box na maliit. Ay, malaki pala. Sorry. What is nakakuha kang gano'n? Ako nga wala eh. Yung isang box na malaki.
The opening move will be double doors. Apex and Mezzi lined up. A two-man defense, and they're going to have a lot coming at them.
MOUZ's hopes.
No flash, and that's the bomb going first.
Lie upon this plate. Upon finding success in the mid-fight. Flash going through. Apex force back.
Nice one, Mezzi.
Mezzi mighty with one, but not enough. Nice to make Vitality feel super comfortable here. 35 seconds left.
Good molly.
Fire at their feet as MOUZ start to rotate back into the B-bomb site. Look who's waiting for them. The reckoning in ROPS.
Behit na! Go! Oh my god, nice one ROPS.
His domain, but it's just
nice one Apex.
Apex comes in. Keep
nice one Apex.
Going forward. Apex with another. And Torzy down low in HP with
baka
no
mo
hope
1v3
in
mo pa to,
hell. And it's a new fresh health for MOUZ
Galil lang yan.
as they collapse at the end. They let Vitality back in again. And when you let the greatest team in the world have a chance, they are going to take it.
Yeah, this might be just heartbreaking for MOUZ. It's going to be 11-12. They've got plenty, they got a good amount of money with the energy bonus built up, but it's not pretty. Torji's going to be stuck on this Galil. One more round to MOUZ to figure out what they can do to get past this defense. They had it figured out for 6 rounds straight, but it's just those 6 rounds. Outside of that, they have not been able to overcome Vitality.
Man, they get knocked off their feet. 1 round loss and unable to recover,
unable
to get back up and get the fight going again. And now going into the last round of regulation, they're going in bruised. They've barely got anything to play with.
I'll be honest, I'm kind of surprised that Vitality called a timeout here. That's giving MOUZ a chance to talk, where Cyclone had burnt their 3rd timeout previously.
Let's go Vitality. But
so obviously Xtaz maybe not feeling that things are exactly perfect the way he would have liked. 3 of the last 4 rounds have been lost by time to MOUZ. That had not been an issue plaguing them through the rest of this T-half. But ever since Vitality put a stop to their run, their attack has just become limp.
5 Galils.
Round 24. Overtime for MOUZ or a map 1 victory for Vitality.
Overtime.
ZywOo in middle, smoked out for the time being. That smoke keeping MOUZ alive as they go up short. With the weaker guns, it's all about strength and numbers. The MOUZ mob go into short.
You might be looking to hit a timing as well that they wouldn't expect versus an actual smart round.
Oy, nakita yung balikat.
Mezzi. Witty and Goose.
Good molly.
They're gonna have to go through the fire. Brolin's already ahead, severed off of his teammates. He's so far
out
of the zone.
Apex is the shit.
Down.
One more. Messi, just stay there, Messi. Just stay there.
Multi-kill moment from Apex here. Grenade landing on Torzy. Softening him up, and look how disjointed the final members
here are of
MOUZ.
Don't
They're gonna try and get away. The Flames is already there. Just waiting for
Messi,
them. It's going to be 5 rounds in a row here for Vitality. Complete collapse for MOUZ. We thought it would be the genuine clutch combos to pull back the comeback.
Aray ko, Jimmy.
Just in time.
Aray ko. 13-11. Pinakilig lang ang MOUZ. Tama.
Team Vitality
Vitality take the opening map of the best of 5 grand final. The first map
1,
on their journey to
0.
30.
Okay, scorean ka na muna. 1-0. Vitality. Maps. Beat Queen. 13-11. Patanong pa kayo dyan. Type na lang. Ayun na. Lods, balato ko ha. Kain o. Wala nga eh. Talo na nga eh. Balato pa. Balato Bulls. So, GG nga ni. GG nga ni. Okay, GG muna. Wait lang.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a MOUZ. Not this again.
Mga ilang lang, ilang case lang. Skin Club. Oh. Vitality tayo, Vitality. Mga 5 case lang. Ano yun? Vitality. May Vitality na case dito. May Team Vitality dito eh. Ito, Team Vitality. 1,500. 1,500. Hindi, tig-isa-isa. Tig-isa-isa. Matagal lang. Ayan, MOUZ 7. Di-upgrade natin mamaya yan. Open sa pa. Last 4. Higiling-giling. 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 Magdula taba. Higiling-giling. Uy, ito na yun. Chris, pwede na. Ano ba? Gabe. Fuck that shit, I'm out. Aba naman yun. 165. Last two. Vitality. Please, give me exclusive. Last pa. 3 eh. Ba? Tapos ano natin, i-upgrade natin yung 5. Pag walang maganda. Ba naman 26. Upgrade natin yung 5. Saan yun? Ano yun? Lahat. $10. Oh, times 2. 2 times 2. Ito muna. Yun ako pa rin naman yan eh. Aray ko. Dapat hindi ko na ginalaw.
Dili mo gingalaw.
Ba't dili ko na ginalaw? Ano ba naman yan? O sige.
Gin-move ni mo.
Gin-move na ako. Hey guys, balik muna kami. Break muna and thank you, commercial.
Alam mo ba na 2 click lang nasa laro ka na? Login with Steam at simulan na ang case opening sa Skin Club, ang ultimate CS2 skin case opening platform with high drop rates, fair play at instant withdrawals. Mas madali nang makuha ang dream skins mo. Gusto mo pa ng mas intense? Try case battles at skin upgrades for even bigger wins. Huwag magpahuli, bisitahin ng Skin Club ngayon at gamitin ang aming promo code na FocusFire.
All these rounds that were supposed to go the way of MOUZ, all these win conditions that were supposed to happen for them to win this map chase, it played out, but they still couldn't get it done.
Gentlemen, let's look and examine in deeper footage here some of these rounds where MOUZ seemingly made some mistakes. Let's start with round 5, right out of the gate.
Right out of the gate. Okay, so basically, we're all talking here about this Jimmy 1v5. That's not going to get everyone's confidence up. It's going to get Jimmy's confidence up, and maybe there's a sigh of relief for MOUZ. But here, look at earlier in the game, right? Opening kill for Torzi. What does Exertion need to go for another kill? He even got spotted. He has full nades, but he goes for another one. Doesn't matter, because Torzy's going to get another kill. But look at Spinks and Lower. He has all the info. Oh, they're grouped up. They want to go A. Torzy's getting that info, but instead of just sitting there with his positioning and chilling, no, he needs to go and flank in a 4 versus 3. Torzy's got 2 kills. They know it's going to be A. Jimmy's like outside of B doors. They're completely set, but no, they need more. It's not good enough for them. And these opportunities given away where it's like, okay, now we're killing our own momentum. Now we're going to be on eco. These are more questionable than, I guess, the Vitality just peeking one by one to kill Jimmy.
It's because they have to sort of psych themselves up that they are not afraid, right? And then they do it when the opportunity isn't there.
Yeah.
Like, they're just doing it for sake. And we've seen this with MOUZ before. We've seen Exertion on Inferno push through their own bottom banana smoke against Pistols in the second round to sort of prove that he's not scared and not afraid. That's what they're doing here. Oh, I'm going to trust my instincts. I'm going to push lower. No one's going to be waiting for me. If they are, I'll kill them. And all of a sudden, you're dead, and the reset round is done, and you're back into the hole.
But wait. There's more. Let's go ahead and reload up that next one. I believe it's going to be round number 8 that we jump into. Same sort of ideas here. Just a fumble, if you will.
Yeah, it just didn't really make sense to me because Spinks actually goes out middle here, throws his smoke at mid doors, and comes back to B. But instead of just hiding here in closet, waiting for them to actually come through the choke, no, he's got to peek up earlier. And it's the only spot Vitality has to look. But if they come through the doors or come through the window, they have to clear like 20 different spots. He peeks up, bad timing, bad setup. They knew that the B hit was coming. Spinks wastes his smoke instead of isolating outside the site or tunnels. No, they just sit there and let them get converged from 2 different angles. And Jimmy tries to do his best. The guy's falling from the skies. He has to use more bullets than necessary to get that kill, and then he gets traded only 1-for-1. But Spinks, like, what are you doing? Just save the smoke, use it somewhere else, talk about the setup, and what are you doing? Just hide.
Well, that's where we can start to connect the dots, because had we not had that round we just played before that, probably would have played it differently. They became too passive, became too scared, maybe realized that they were overdoing it a little bit and then took a step back. I agree with you, you know, the essence of that round in isolation, way too passive setup for MOUZ. Utility uses as well, not too well, but I bet you, had the round that we just showed before that not happened, they wouldn't have played it so passive and so scared.
And I think also Vitality did a good job. They were putting a lot of emphasis on B in terms of setting ZywOo tunnels a lot to put pressure with the op, to bait out some of those smokes earlier than maybe MOUZ would have liked, right? And that makes B splits later on easier, but not just that, makes the B defenders more paranoid about that they don't have a good setup going, which maybe sends someone down CT spawn, so their A is more open as well.
So we go a little bit deeper into Dust 2 here. I think we've also got round 20 we can look at towards the end of the game.
This is MOUZ winning 6 rounds in a row, right? And this is how they lose after that. They put no real pressure on Cat. They're gonna get blocked on Cat. They come late into an A split. ZywOo with the saved op is posted up at car, finds 2 kills, and this is it. The round is over. Like, this is not a team that's playing with confidence. Like, you're taking map control more aggressively. You're putting the pressure on the CTs, and they're just playing scared. Here, even Spinks dies after time. He died 2 rounds back-to-back after time. So MOUZ, even with 6 rounds in a row on the T side, after those 2 rounds, because of that extra hit to the economy, they can't buy anymore. They have to go for sort of a half buy, and then in the final round, they just have Galils. It's like, where is the confidence? Where is the initiative? Why are we not taking Cat earlier? Exertion is sort of trying to make himself known at the 1-minute mark. He's out mid, but Vitality is just 3B, 2A, just gambling sort of a setup, and then ZywOo gets to kill 2 guys without having to face any utility.
That right there is why they're not going to win this matchup, right? When you have a round where you know you're up against a couple of MP9s, you know there's no utility whatsoever on their Vitality side, and you're still playing scared, you're still not using your own utility. I believe 2 of the players survived with 2 flashes and a smoke as well, not used at all. If you're not going to use that to your advantage, that you have all the utility, that you're facing against a team with nothing to show for, you're not going to win.
We're going to do a coach check then. That's what we're going to do. I'm getting the news right now in real time. You actually hear me getting this news. We're going to hear from Xtaz. Let's do it.
Yeah, we tried a new game plan, a new prep, sorry.
Had a chance to be catching up with Xtaz after the first map of Dust 2. First of all, pose the question, after that Jimmy round went down, did he see any kind of change in the team? Because obviously they lost the next 5 rounds after that round did occur. He said, yes, it was an unacceptable mistake. Took them a while to kind of get out of their own heads. When they did, he felt like it was a well-deserved victory in that Dust 2. He said they were the way better team. Moving on to Mirage, I did pose the question, you know, the last 2 times you faced MOUZ on this particular map, they've managed to get the better of you. What is going to change this time around? He chose to keep his cards close to his chest and said, you'll see, as we move on to map number 2.
Now, we were almost in a situation where the last time Vitality lost map one of a series was the Falcons back in April at the Rivals event. They went on to lose the first map of another series there versus MOUZ. So it is possible, but that's not what we happen today.
I think Vitality feels invulnerable at this point. I mean, they gave up a 1v5, one of the dumbest 1v5s I've seen, and they still managed to come back with 5 rounds in a row in the end to close out the game in regulation. It didn't even go to OT. Zywo and Rops are playing great. They haven't been playing that well this whole tournament. I don't see how MOUZ comes back into this series.
I mean, this is a better map for MOUZ on Mirage, and one of the things that we got to see that game actually was Jimmy was kind of back in form. We haven't seen that from him in 2025 so far, except for at this event where he seems like his performance is coming back a little bit, gives the team a little bit of a backbone. We've seen him, I mean, that 1 versus 5, yeah, it's diabolical from the side of Vitality, but if Jimmy's able to come back here and be able to close out rounds for these guys, maybe it gives a little bit more leeway for Exertion to have whatever the hell is going on where he feels the need to go and try to make a play when no play needs to be made.
That's the pressure they're playing under right now, MOUZ. They're well aware that if they don't win Mirage, obviously you're down 2-0 in a series. Inferno coming up next. At that point, it's 3-0 written in the stars. If you're MOUZ right now, you gotta gas yourself up to the point where we have to win Mirage. There's no way you can allow yourself to go down 0-2 versus an unbeatable Vitality, knowing that your worst map in this map pool, Inferno, is coming up. So I'm not sure if that pressure, that extra layer of pressure that is put on by themselves right now is a good thing for MOUZ, but they have to step it up right now.
Maybe they have a hypnotist in the team as well.
Yeah, maybe. You know what? Maybe right down the hallway. Maybe we should go see him as well. But I should also tell you that if you're not here watching in Dallas, there's truly one other better way to watch it. You guys know where I'm going with this? Can you pick up what I'm laying down?
Where you're going. Face It Watch, right?
That's right. Face It Watch. Go ahead and check them out. You can watch all the POVs from all your favorite pros playing up there on that stage right now, actively in real time. For us, we do go to a break. Gentlemen, thank you very much. We have Mirage in front of us, a Vitality CT-sided start, and a Vitality looking to keep their streak alive. Quite a few maps under their belt, but only 2 more to go to grab the title in Dallas.
He's wanting the round on his own.
That's the plan.
Yeah, he's going to try. Fakes it out. It's the shot. Has to isolate the joint. Ready to Odyssey, you beast! So straight, and now pushing in to close it out is MOUZ. Heavy gone side by side with him. Naito stands his ground. Oh my god, it's Hades! And he's gone down to the Naito Galil! Is he keeping him very busy as he closes the gap onto 1-6. Good hold from the top sniper. And this gap close, isolating Jules. Senior! 2 back turn is helped out by Suntai locking swords to knock him out. The same as he does it.
And Tessas imagines the Danes looking to do it. Magic with a double right back. Beats the last moment. And it's Zywo to stop. They did it.
Hi, it's Bob with Face It. The official broadcast is better than ever on Face It Watch. Yep, that's right. Switch it up with the POV selector. 4 angles, your choice. From the main broadcast to your favourite player's view. And it's available on the Face It app and Chromecast. But wait, there's more. Keep watching, keep winning. That's how we roll. Watch IEM Dallas while having the chance to get skins and Face It points. Look at this beauty. Change the channel and control how you watch.
So, how do we get to this?
Hey, I'm Fi, and I'm here at IEM Dallas. We're gonna take a look behind the scenes to see what tech makes this tournament tick. But no tour can be done without a tour guide, and that's why I've got the second best JW in esports, Jackson Wolf. What's good and what's happening?
Hey, how's it going, Fi? Yeah, I'm Jackson. I'm the IEM Dallas product manager for this event. What that means for everyone is I kind of work behind the scenes, connect all the different departments, but I also get to do some other fun things like integrating the new Acer Predator Orion 7000 PC. So you want to go take a look?
Hell yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
Jackson, what's going on here?
Yeah, so this is the group stage tournament booth. So the referees that you will see standing behind the players, the people running the servers, they're also in charge of all the equipment. So the Acer Predator, it's the Orion 7000, it's powered by the Intel Core Ultra processor with a built-in NPU, combined with the RTX 5080 with the Cyclone X 360 cooling. We're trying to make sure that it's elite for these players. So this is the player lounge at our tournaments. Hospitality is huge for us. Players travel all the time, so we want to look out for them. But essentially, this is where the players come to hang out in between their games and the PC testing.
Holy crap, that's a lot of screens.
Yeah, so we're at the center of everything. The captain's chair, driving the ship.
What is red, green, and blue plus?
So those are all replay operators. Each color represents something different. So blue will represent all in-game highlights. Green will represent face cameras. And then we have red that's kind of combines them two. It makes like a big highlight package.
It's super cool, super complicated, but it is quite beautiful. Behind me, it looks like this is where the Counter-Strike is happening, Jackson. What's up with this?
Yeah, so this is the observer station. Over here on the left, we have the context observer. So think frag movies, cinematics, anything third person that can give a little bit extra context to what's going on in the round. Over here, you have the main observer to capture all the kills and get all the action. This is the in-game director. Whatever they choose to see is what actually goes back to the technical director and is what's on the show.
We've learned a lot about how Acer Predator and Intel power events like this one here at IEM Dallas. From the hundreds of buttons in the control room to the esports area and player competition. We've seen what goes into the launch of the Predator Orion 7000 as the official tournament PC of future IEM. Now let's get back to Counter-Strike, Dallas.
For years, MOUZ has told us they're confident that they can beat the best teams in the world, that they're improving, they're getting better, and they're overcoming their stage woes, but Vitality just gave them one more reminder. There's still a little bit of choke left in them. Vitality has been the beast. They have been unable to take down.
Alam mo ba na nag-reclam nasa laro ka na? Login with Steam at simulan na ang case opening sa Skin Club, ang ultimate CS2 skin case opening platform. With high drop rates, fair play at instant withdrawals, mas madali nang makuha ang dream skins mo. Gusto mo pa ng mas intense? Try case battles at skin upgrades for even bigger wins. Huwag magpahuli, bisitahin ng Skin Club ngayon at gamitin ang aming promo code ng FocusFire.
Game!
Back at Blast Rivals, a 13-11 victory back at Blast Lisbon. Can they repeat that success here in Dallas to tie up this grand final series? Pistol round is live. Smoke Molotov onto Brolin. Dualies on Zaiwu and a smoke flash on Mezzi for the defense. And MOUZ lined up looking like this is going to be attacked into the B bomb site. They got 2 players in underpass, so they can change that quickly.
Map pick.
And once again, a passive defense from Vitality. It works so well on Dust 2. MOUZ can never push forward to find an opening. And okay, Rops is just going to continue where he left off.
Now, Rops looking clean on the opener. Perhaps I was going to find the follow-ups. Spink's already finding himself in the window room, and it's a little bit of a surprise for Mezzi, but he's happy to get away with that one. And now he's stuck in the corner. He's pinned in the corner. There's a Palace push coming in as well, so Mezzi decides to go into connector and fight.
Nice one,
He found the bomb, and the rest of his teammates taking kills between them. Zaiwu and Robs combined, putting it all on Yimpat. Another 1v5.
Kaya mo yan? O, 1v5 na naman? Ano, 1v5 na naman?
Surely they don't give him another chance here.
They're thinking about it right now. They're just like, all right, guys.
We
not
learned.
twice.
So Rob's going to be clean with it. Win the pistol here for Vitality to kick off Mirage.
And again, I think too, it's like some of this passive setups from Vitality that ruined him on Dust 2, ruined him here in this pistol round as well. I feel like MOUZ is probably thinking, normally when we run these tactics, we've encountered somebody. Somebody's gotten in a fight. Somebody's gotten a kill. We've got a gap we can exploit somewhere, but none of that available in this pistol round. Even Mezzi just feels the fact that he's surrounded and just decides to get aggressive. So, I mean, exertion, that's not a great look. That's almost like the, yeah, we don't have it right now.
Well, they don't. They absolutely don't right now. There's no follow-up force by. They can even get close to a bomb plant, so no extra cash. Comfortable 2-0 should be coming up here for Vitality. ZywOo going to ensure that it is. Oh yeah, ZywOo keeping it clean, running out of bullets, and Rob's committed to help him. 2-0 lead. At least it's quick.
Pwede mo na itaob sa ano dun?
Mal's get into the buy.
May host dun sa may ano. Mga bulwak. Gaganin mo na lang. Gamit yung CB mo dun.
All right, AK-47's out for MOUZ, so we're going to see what their T-side's going to start looking like. And this will be something they need to worry about because Rob's had that huge performance on Dust 2, start to finish, strongest player inside the server, the most impact felt from his rifles. If he's going to get map 2 started underway, MOUZ has got to be very cautious about how they approach taking mid-control if he's going to be frisky like that off catwalk.
Well, here comes Flame sprinting up into the underpass, right into space, pretty loud about it. And still nearly wins the fight, which would have been a little bit ridiculous. Spink's going to hold on, but there's a second wave. And as Rob's coming this time, Spinks realizes that's a possibility and keeps it going as he looked for the B aggression. He does indeed, and Mezzi, he's still going to go for it. He's going to go right into Spinks, and eventually, on the third time of asking, Vitality bring him down.
Yeah, but now look at this. A little bit of pressure going to come over from Palace. Torji's here with Yimfat. They're going to wait a little bit of time for Brolin and Exertion to get back, but they're already staged up and ready to hit into this A-bomb site. I like that round from Spinks. I think he noticed how aggressive the MP9 was and said no one sacrifices themselves like that if there's not a second player coming. So very aware of the situation, and the same thing with Vitality at the end of round 3. They're out-positioned, a man down. So group up at the B bomb site, concede A. It should be the first round for MOUZ because Apex isn't going to fight.
And Apex gets caught anyway in the jungle. So safe call for Vitality, they'll wrap it up, and MOUZ finally getting one on the board here. Be great if they were able to get a good start into the gun round, start building some momentum into this map. We know how important it will be for them just to try and shake off the woes of Dust 2.
Well, think about some of the personal aspects of it as well. You look over at Spinks, the one player dead for MOUZ in this round with that nice double kill to start things off. But Vitality player last year, a lot of the conversation that we've heard from Vitality from Apex has been his indecision of staying in the team, when he wants to leave the team, where he wants to be. Prevented them from lifting more trophies last year. Spinks kind of was one of those guys, thought the grass was a little bit greener. So now he's looking for that indication. He's searching for it. He's had Vitality. His former teammates beat them 5 times this year, all while he's looking to prove that he's made the right decision.
I think the Spinks move to MOUZ was a little unexpected, and we wondered how's it going to go. You've lost Shuei. How is Brolin going to fare as an in-game leader? Everything about Brolin's character that we've seen outside of the server, you know, kind of timid in interviews, quiet, soft-spoken guy. We didn't think he was going to make it as an in-game leader, but MOUZ have got better and better. They've won a title this year. They're in another grand final on the stage. And Spinks has been a part of that.
Congratulations, Brolin. All that IGL success you've had throughout the year leads you to this, trying to figure out a way to beat the best team in the world at the moment. Round 4. Exertion and Brolin for mid-control. Rops and ZywOo and Apex to defend against it. Deep smoke, and that's a good little spam. Rops gets out of danger.
Saan na ba? Series? 3-1 lang.
ZywOo staying committed in mid. Gonna have the support of the grenade of Rops going up in behind.
Boom!
ZywOo down to very low HP. Mid health to be exact. Spinks applying pressure, solo B again. The smoke at Palace is going to stop Torji and Impact from moving forward and applying pressure to Flames.
Interesting seeing back-to-back rounds of Yimfat and Torji kind of grouped up over in Palace. Normally a position where you just see one lurk player there.
Okay lang, may server naman mabukas din.
That's the key difference as well.
May server na nabukas yan. Pag 12
so nice split being set up with Spinks' lurk at B. Flames is going to watch them as they come out of Palace. That's the bomb. Oh, and it's not the perfect time to Palace. It's Flames just eradicating their chances, and they've got to fight their way out of it. Sure, a great double for Brolin, but they've still got to go back and get that bomb at Palace, which means walking into the waiting arms of ZywOo, who just went back in CT spawn.
Yeah, Brolin's happy to be the player watching for the rotation through the murder hole. He knows they're likely not going to be coming from that position. High HP on Spinks. Yeah, he's made a sick walk.
Oh!
Gotta be careful. Rops is close by. I think he heard something.
Well, you can see the reaction. He just sits back in the corner. He's going to allow Spinks to walk right into him. Rops, no problem. He's got it. Takes a little bit of damage on board, but with that kill, tips Vitality into the favor. 25 seconds to get the bomb back. Here's the reposition. You send Exertion back to Palace and let Brolin make his way through the murder hole. But he's caught by Mezzi. And so Exertion now leaps out of Palace to try and grab the bomb. He's picked it up, but it's an impossible task that waits in front of him. And he realizes that. So he's going to back away. AK-47 trying to hold on to it.
Yeah, he could replenish utility. Teammates will buy back up into things. And MOUZ trying to initiate the round by walking through smoke. They tried it on pistol round as well. Flames handles it both times. Very, very well. Double kill in this round. And a 3-1 lead for Vitality. Looking much the same. MOUZ, even with those 2 kills from Brolin, can't find the following piece. Spinks, he had to have just made one extra footstep that Rops heard.
Yeah,
Rops was so convinced.
Timing.
This is the timing. Flames looks back, sees him just appear through the smoke, and he
Baka
handles it quite well, doesn't get caught off guard. Yeah, Spinks going to be very frustrated about that, thinking that perhaps he had the play to get his team back into the round, but it's not to be.
It's all right, it's a solid buy in this round from MOUZ, and it's still early going. Plenty of time to recover. But yet to find success they can lean on, they can rely on. Exertion is going to lead the way in underpass. Torji top mid and Brolin in support.
Simple.
Pat. Next up, out of the ramp, you got Spinks pushing Palace. Just as that fight goes down, and so it is Flames this time to lose the fight out of Palace, but ZywOo stepping up, and instead he's got the double. Killing towards ramp, no problem on the impact. He's got eyes on connector, but he needs it. What? Oh, yeah, that's what we've all come to see.
Piling ko, ano na lang eh. Sanayan na lang din eh.
ZywOo on the swivel.
Ace na ba? Ace na pala. Okay, Tetris. Ace, ZywOo, ace. BAM! One tap ace.
He's here to entertain. ZywOo on the stage in the grand final.
Oh, style points. The clean one tap to close it out. The best player in the world. And he's come into 2025 with an attitude. He just rips them apart everywhere they are on the map. Exertion had a chance, the best chance. But you best not miss, and ZywOo makes you pay.
And another rough hit to the mental.
One taps.
Back down to pistols. Vitality are the best team, but they've also got the best individual. That's what makes them so deadly. Flames taking Brolin out. Opening kill for Vitality.
Yeah, this is kind of the end of Dust 2. All these rounds are falling really, really flat for MOUZ. I feel like a lot of these opening kills coming in for Vitality feels like sometimes there's really not a great way to trade any of them. This round, obviously, just with pistols, nothing's going to be easy. And MOUZ back away from this B bomb site. The angle from Mezzi way too strong. But MOUZ having all those same issues we've talked about for years of just you get to this point and it looks like a completely different team than what we saw in the group stage. They melted through everyone on the way here. 2-0s. They didn't drop a map before getting to the grand finals. Embarrassing their opponents, Falcons, they wiped the map with them the entire series.
What are you eating, bro? I'm eating Ding Dong.
We've got
This
no
is
indication that
nuts
MOUZ is here to play.
Peace.
5-1 and a timeout called from MOUZ. Cyclone probably feeling desperate.
Focus.
Pure Vitality.
And some vegetables.
Map up in the best of 5 already. ZywOo
vegetable.
on a heater here, Mirage 9-0.
This is good for your health. If you do not have gout.
I think if you're Cyclone as well, you're talking to the guys and you're like, all right, look.
If you have gout, don't eat this.
This whole Palace play idea we have hasn't netted us anything. Maybe a 1-for-1 trade, the best it's given you, but coming through the smoke in Palace doesn't work. It might be time. MOUZ has done a lot of default spread out, going to underpass, coming to take middle. It might be time to just kind of fall back and do something easy. See if you can get something going with just an A exec. You know they've been running some mid-control on the CT side. Maybe you can take advantage of that fact. Get into the bomb site, play a post-plant.
Always to start getting impact as well.
Is Ding Dong Filipino food? Yes. Search DDS, bro. Ding Dong.
They're going to boost him up
Ding
over
Dong
the top
supporter.
of the top mid smoke. He'll peer down into Khan.
Corrupt.
Nothing revealed to
Core
Torzi
Ultra
early on.
9 processor. 285K.
Oh, tons of damage eaten by Brolin through the smoke. Just when they make their move, Apex had the nade primed for the utility coming in from the MOUZ side of things. That's really good chip damage onto Brolin at the MOUZ side of things. Him and Exertion just back all the way off. Torji's going to chuck a mid-round window smoke, but Vitality was just aggressive. They were just aggressively controlling mid. They know everything, and the smoke is missed anyways.
Oh, they're going to peek it as well.
Oh,
They have a look in the mid. They're going to see no one moving there. It's all starting to line up here as they go to the A site. They're going to be going into ZywOo.
He's an anchor now.
Flames
Aray ko!
off the top of the stairs. It's going to be
Kita naman
Brolin,
ang
the first
ulo.
victim. ZywOo takes a couple of steps
one
forward
palas.
under the wood. They might think it's clear because they just used fire on it, and so they don't even check him. ZywOo with a great reposition, and once
Wala
again,
namang
another
pira
stellar
next
hold for the A
round
defense
ng
here of
MOUZ.
Vitality. It is impenetrable right
Daga na
now.
lang.
They're separated. Spinks once again on the lurk
wait.
at the B-bomb site. This time he
Wait.
beats out Robs, but where can you go with this with 30 seconds? There's nowhere to run. You have to hide.
There's no
Salamat
impact
sa
on the
live
lurk when
boss
everyone else
amo.
dies on the other side of the map, and I'll tell you what, that's a
Talaga?
really cool setup from Vitality. It's obviously the positions are nothing
problem.
special, but when you think about it, I make a joke about ZywOo being the anchor. It's usually Flames. So when Flames gets the first kill over towards stairs, the rest of
I want
MOUZ
to
thinks that
donate
the
for
bomb
the
site is
joke.
clear.
No,
Look,
no,
okay, the
no,
anchor's
no.
playing Con. There's obviously
No,
a mid
bro,
setup
no,
because
bro.
we just threw the window smoke they didn't realize missed, and everyone's walking into the A-bomb site not clearing anything.
Yes, yes.
And
We
ZywOo's
turned up
lying in
the
wait for an
dotation,
easy
bro.
frag and an easy round win. Now a 5-round lead, and now
Just need to
Vitality
enjoy.
so confident, so comfortable, ready for the late round hunt. Torji is going to get away.
Yeah, make sure he gets around the corner, gets that one pick at the end. So at least they'll still have the AWP gun into the next round. But a second timeout for MOUZ in this first half.
Wala pa akong nakitang Pinoy ah. Tandoy naman ngayon dun. Wala namang trabaho mga ano dun.
Took a Jimmy 1v5 to even give some life to MOUZ. It wasn't enough for them
Kaya nga
to ride it
tinapat
through
na
to
Sunday
the end
para wala
either.
yung trabaho. Tamang
But they
OT-OT
need a
pa kayo.
moment like that again. A turning point in the half to actually come back and get some rounds under their
Joke
belt.
lang, joke lang. Nakalive pala tayo.
Looks
So,
like Vitality are going to
alam ko
walk
nanonood
into
lang
a
ako.
second map victory in this best of 5.
Well, MOUZ, they need something from somebody like we had from Jimmy on Dust 2. Now's the time for that individual step up, that individual performance to breathe some new life in him. We saw what it can do. 1v5 victory for Jimmy, and they went on a 6-round streak, but now they haven't had any heroics, any success.
di makabawi ang MOUZ.
All
Mapa
5
pa
players for
nila.
MOUZ grouped up. They're tired of getting picked off one by
Aray
one,
ko.
spread across the map. They'll play the trade game. A death ball in middle. ZywOo and Khan, Mezzi over on catwalk for a defensive crossfire.
Hindi man lang pinawisan bita. Gusto ko pa nga magkape para mag-ano eh. Pag-game 4 eh. Parang ayaw na yata yung game 4 eh. Oh.
Unstoppable.
Makapatay pa to.
Unkillable.
8 HP si ZywOo, makakapatay pa to. Demo.
ZywOo early on in Mirage.
Bogdans na. Rops,
And inside
Bogdans.
the smoke,
Saan si Rops? Nasa B.
When that fades, he can pop up at any moment. He might be able to grab one more with fortunate timing. Flames clearing out Palace. Seeing that it's open, that nobody's home from MOUZ.
ZywOo, don't cross, ZywOo. Okay, you can cross now.
And now ZywOo has all the information.
One
Exertion
ladder.
still up in the ladder room though. He'll be the pivot point as MOUZ rotate back to the A-bomb.
Oh my god.
ZywOo, first death.
Okay, one ladder.
Exertion
One
finishes
ladder.
him off. The bomb shifting back into the A play.
Uy!
Flames. Oh, if he goes down to Exertion, that would weaken the defense massively so.
Grabing dink naman yun, 9 HP lang bawas.
Coming to the ramp, Apex is hidden. If Flames can set up the distraction,
Pinabawas
Apex
yung puro
can knock the
helmet
rest of
lang
them
ah.
down.
Galing ah.
Flames is up first. Spinks to hit the deck.
Up, don't move
Flames
Apex.
paranoid about Palace
Don't
connector
move
and the
Amasol,
ramp.
Apex.
But he's done a great job so far, keeping the pressure up. Now
Yes.
Apex reveals
Ooh!
his spot. It's another kill. Another strong A setup.
Ito na naman ang Galil. Akala ko makakapag-1v1 din yung Galil eh.
7-1, Vitality continue to build.
11-1 si ZywOo.
And MOUZ have no life in the finals.
I mean, Vitality just have this team beat in so many different ways. It's now 5, I mean, again, the 5 series that they've already won so far this year, and now in this grand
Mirage
final, it's
pick
looking
pa
like
more.
MOUZ have no new tricks to bring to the table. ZywOo is just destroying them, straight up. When anyone else is required upon, they're delivering.
Nope.
But ZywOo is an absolute monster here on Mirage.
I just can't figure out this A setup. If we walked into so many different looks of it as well.
It's the second time they've been confused by Flame's positioning as the anchor, right? Because they're just so convinced that he's going to be the guy there. But ZywOo lying in wait now. Apex in the previous round.
Here's a pop into A coming out of Palace. You got Apex tucked in behind Ninja. The initial contact to be taken by ZywOo. Run right into Apex. He's blinded, so he doesn't get the follow-up kill on this. But good damage being done. Brolin and Torzy at least able to fight a little bit, but it's a Brolin clutch required with an AWP in his hands.
Alaka, paano? Uy, one.
He goes back to it, and Rob shuts the gap down before it really opens up.
Yeah, giving him no room with which to operate between the shots of that AWP. Now a 7-round lead as Vitality continue inflicting pain. And you can see just the confusion when we get onto the MOUZ players' faces. They don't know what the solution is. They don't know how to adapt.
Panalo na Lods. Game 3 MOUZ.
Round 10, and no indication it's going to go any differently.
Yeah, there was excitement in this event because we've seen MOUZ get better and better towards having an incredible performance in the early stages of the competition. And Vitality
Apex
also
versus
weaker by their own standards. So we
Apex
thought this
versus
grand final could
Mongols.
deliver, but right now it is same old Vitality.
Ooh.
8-1 up on the second map of play. Flames now confident, emboldened by their early success.
Hello.
He's gonna walk into the ramp and get punished by Yimpat.
Okay, you've just been handed an advantage, and you have to capitalize on it now. Another missed window smoke. MOUZ today looking real shaky. Apex gonna hold on to underneath balcony for the moment. Good kill on the Sphinx, tried to lurk out.
ZywOo waiting for that smoke to fade away.
Spot
a little bit of his opponent.
Look at Mezzi, he's all the way at the end of B halls. He's about to bring out a big flank, but they're coming back from T-spawn.
Well, they seem to be aware of what the gap is. Can Mezzi? Oh, he doesn't turn the right way. Looks away as towards he takes him down. That's the opening. That's information. There's a weakness on the B side, but is there really a weakness? Because ZywOo's now here with the AWP, and the turret, goes jumping into them. Not ready for Brolin to be so close.
He's really disappointed in himself. That was way too much. And man, Vitality, this one just goes away from them. The first round, they really tried to be aggressive on an individual level with the push down ramp, with the push into B halls from ZywOo to get the deep angle, the flank from Mezzi. All of those get punished.
Yeah, limit testing. And they've found the limit. It's going to be a second round here for MOUZ.
And I think Apex, these last 2 rounds of Vitality's, nope, let's just sit back, and they still don't know how to find a kill. So a little bit of extra breathing room for MOUZ with this round number 2. Money's fine for Vitality.
Yeah, that's the problem, right? You still got to go up against a really solid buy in the next round. There's Apex handling the quick push, thinking he's caught a timing.
ZywOo trying to play, get some safety in the hall so we don't have to worry about catwalk, and far more progression than he expected. That player came up through the underpass. ZywOo thought he had more time because Mezzi encountered players back in T-spawn. Misjudging the situation. I mean, for MOUZ, you're like, okay, we got this round. Now we have to win the rest in this half. We got to get to 4 to give ourselves some room in the second half. But again, you didn't really do anything there to win the round. You were kind of given those opportunities by the aggression and the pushes from Vitality, by their choices. You'll take it, but you still want to feel like at the end of this half, you got it under control. Timeout from Vitality, and that might just be Xtaz being extra cautious, saying we're in control of this game, just don't give it up, just keep going. No more rounds like that, no more rounds where we make it extremely easy. Every round we fight for. Reminding them of the stakes of everything they're playing for, the grand final here at IEM Dallas. Putting yourselves in the best position possible for the coming weeks at the Austin Major. The potential second ESL Grand Slam in 1 year. Reaching the dirty 30 win streak.
Get that 30, bro.
Looking to collect their first of 2 titles in Texas.
Vitality.
ZywOo smoked out, held back.
Oh, walang
with a grenade, and of course it'll still work out for ZywOo. It's
just a little bit
different for him.
Man, he's really just a beast.
What
Look
inert
how hard
na
it
yun?
is if you're MOUZ to set anything up. Just once again, this time you're grouped up. You want to prevent those early losses, and ZywOo's still able to grab one for nothing.
Now Rops is ready. for a jump up on that bench. Flames get a bit of blind pressure out from the connector. Brolin being caught. Robs then steps forward and Vitality. They sense weakness, but they are mistaken. His spin holds on to the double push. He's actually dealt them an even blow. We're back to a 2v2, and there's still a lot of time here for MOUZ.
Yeah, but Vitality has been the superior team in these situations on both Dust 2 and now obviously on Mirage. Rops is going to back up into the B bomb site. The defenders kind of have to play split for the moment, and you can see over at the A bomb site the positioning from ZywOo. So many different choke points to worry about. He knows window is available, connector is available, so he's got to worry about window. Yimfat and Spinks. Up con into the A bomb site. 35 seconds left on the clock. There's a kit on ZywOo. There's utility for the CTs to use. Plenty for MOUZ to set up this post plant.
Up, ZywOo. Wag kang tumakbo.
A must-win clutch.
Ay, naka-scope na pala. Okay na. Naka-scope na
ZywOo
din naman.
creeping ever
Up.
closer.
Nice one.
And
Oh!
it's a shot
Wow!
to the
Wow!
chest.
Win!
Spinks to be
Sinong di
sliced.
mawiwili?
And Yimpat asks to clutch again for MOUZ. 8 seconds on the clock, going for bullets instead of prawn, but he's got to go for
Di abot.
this. They plant down in the
Swerte!
site and denied
Ay!
by ZywOo.
Swerte!
No hope in hell for MOUZ.
And nothing can go right for MOUZ. Even the Molotov doesn't spread to ZywOo's feet. He finds a safety in the corner. And Yimfat waited too long to start the plant while the Molotov was up, so it's an easy solution for ZywOo on the box. Final round of the first half.
This is the opening move with the grenade, and
Tundaan ng din
ZywOo makes it look easy.
Malapit
The
na
man
sa
to
ano, pero
open,
di ka bawas.
and the man to close.
Kaya nga. Daya nga, dapat i-derp din eh.
It's all too easy right now for
Hindi,
Vitality.
dapat may damage yun.
And if you don't laugh, you cry is what Torji's thinking as he lets out a giggle. A rough way to lose another round, and a rough half to have to experience in the MOUZ jersey.
Dun sa loob na,
Exertion in
dun sa
middle
loob,
all on his lonesome.
pumapasok.
Towards the B-bomb site we go with numbers.
Mezzi blinded. but they
Pulsera!
haven't checked him.
Aray
They
ko,
do
dalawa.
not check Mezzi.
Ah, wala
And a
na.
double kill as he melts the attack and Robs is up next.
Oops. Don't spam.
MOUZ halted,
Nakatap na. Aray,
slowed
nakita yung
down,
tiwop.
and brought to a stop at the
No.
B site. Vicious from Vitality, 10-2.
10-2?
To blank MOUZ on the
Nakita ko na rin to.
second half of
10-2. Napanood ko na rin tong 10-2. Saan ba? 10-2. Reserve Street. Parang fiesta dito lagi. Naka-reserve yung street. Reserve Street eh. Ayop. Ay, 2 minutes na naman yun. Tayong panalo sa skin. Kaya mamigay. Mapaparinig lang tayo. Baka mamigyan din ulit. Upgrade eh. Scan club tayo. Chamba man. Kahit konti. Wala ba talaga? Yung isa naman, yung pula naman, yung pula. Para semi ano lang. Malay mo sa pulang ano. Ito si Bloody. Bloody? Bloody hell. Tignan natin to. Ano makuha dito? Uy. Uy. Uy, Crimson Web. Falcon Knife. Parang okay nga to. Okay yata to. Uy, gusto ko to ah. Desert Eagle na Crimson Web ah. Uy. Ay nga. Deagle lang, Deagle. Deagle. Okay na ako dyan. Hindi pa nag... Ito pa. In-stop mo na lang doon sa ano eh. Masyado dagger eh. Ay, yung stop sa mga knife. Pwede na. Pa. Kung gusto nyo rin guys, PM kayo sa page. Kung gusto nyo lang din. Bloody sport na naman. Last. Upgrade na lang natin yun. 4. Lagpas na naman. Upgrade natin. Times 2 lang. Yan. Times 2. Amber paid Mac 10. Souvenir. Ayaw talaga. Ay. Hey guys. Magka tayo. Let's go. Game.
Well, this is the scoreline you get when one team outclasses the other in pretty much every aspect of the game. Tactically, strategically, and individually. Vitality on another level today, especially Zaiwu. 15-3 on this first half of Mirage. Incredible sequences, and ace in that first half as well. There's no one from MOUZ who can step up and challenge Vitality right now, and this map might come to a very quick conclusion.
Sana all.
A mountain for MOUZ to climb, but it all starts with the first step. And will they fall flat in their face? Vitality gathering with the bomb outside of B. Mezzi with a molly in hand. 2 through mid, 2 through B. Lurk in Palace and Robs. Mezzi to take first contact. Bomb is now shifting into the underpass. Mezzi staying committed. Taking damage at Palace. MOUZ have got some early info to work with here. They know what's coming at them. As they split through the connector. Exertion's got the first kill of the pistol. They need a little bit more. And so he spins from behind. A double execution. Robs down to Palace. And it's a quick, clean pistol here for MOUZ.
All right, there we go. There's a little bit of life, and they get to have a chance at getting things started, or a chance at least playing themselves awake into this series. Oh, that's a valiant attempt. That's a very valiant attempt.
Wala pa yung dyan, beer snake.
Nice job from Spinks. Double kill and Khan getting aggressive, not letting them actually execute, turning around and handling the B-bomb site. Great flick over onto Mezzi.
Yung pamimigay lagi dun pag LAN.
For the scoreline.
Pag natsambahan ka, sarap. Bawi ng ticket. Sobra pa. Ay, bawi lang ata.
No round is unwinnable for Vitality, especially when they've got Deagles and Tech-9s. A little bit of something.
Yeah, I don't even want to think about that eventuality. It's actually horror in my brain for MOUZ to imagine in a world in which they lose this round. That would just be too much.
Talo pa sila dito. Sarap ng set.
An A execution. And Brolin stopping one.
Wait.
Apex able to respond. The pressure's up. The bomb plant denied. Apex not allowed to get away with it.
Got to get that bomb while the smokes are still up though and get it planted. Robs. Oh, he's not actually doing it.
Oh, the myth. He comes through the smoke. Oh, Mezzi appears, but Exertion ready. Handles him. Couldn't get Robs. The pressure's still on. But now Rob's alone, and he's dropped. So MOUZ will pick it up without losing to the FocusFire, and they also don't concede a bomb plant.
Yeah, all about stopping that bomb plant. Really well done from MOUZ, spraying the bomb plant down through the smoke, and then all of a sudden Vitality actually have to attack into you. They no longer have the safety sit in the bomb site and wait for you for the retake. And they've got to do it with crappy weapons, so an easy mop-up for MOUZ. Vitality invested a couple Deagles, a scout on Robs. So trying to do a little bit of economic damage in this round. That's probably the best that Vitality can hope for.
Naunahan eh. Uy!
Oh, Rob's unable to make much happen with that scout. It's going to be Brolin and Yimpat with the two openers. Should be able to clean up the Deagles in mid as well without too much issue, and that M4 is going to hold down MOUZ. It's going to be Torty to come out on top of the final kill. Fifth round for MOUZ, halfway down to the comeback. But here comes the buy for Vitality at the start of the second half. Everybody on AK-47s.
30,
Yeah, it should
40
be. I mean, you can do whatever
Okay.
you want in this round for Vitality. We'll see what they open up with. Do you want to spread into a default? Do
Do
they want to go actually and just attack into a bomb site, a set piece, get in? How exactly do you want to kick things off? In this gun round as you try and close out map number 2.
Henry G.
Map number 3 will be Inferno. A little bit of mid-control now for Vitality. Flame's going to lead the way through, turning from flashbangs. One up on Catwalk, one in the underpass. Oh, no, another one. Good trade from ZywOo, and mid is opened up.
Yeah, it keeps it 3v3. And a lot of space in mid for Vitality. Impact worried about B for good reason. Rob's applying pressure.
Finish him.
Impact goes into the peak, and he'll win it this time against Robs. Torzy's drifted over to help out B.
I like I like Robs actually forcing that fight a little bit. I mean, you have the 2 kills that come out in middle, so he knows more like likely he has a one-on-one at the B bomb site. Finds it, can't get the kill, but the opportunity is still there. I like the idea from Robs. Not able to close it out. So Mezzi and ZywOo join up. At the base of Con, it's Brolin playing very passive in CT spawn as the A bomb site defender, but MOUZ is not sitting back on their heels. Yimfat going to start getting information and getting started on a flank. Torji going to come on back and he'll be able to support Brolin, but ZywOo and Mezzi have the room to get a bomb planted.
Yeah, they've gotten position very quietly.
Contact
all the way to CT, and now they make contact with Brolin. The MP9 on top of the first fight. Damage done to Mezzi as well. And that really should take him out of contention for this clutch. You got Impact coming ramp. And Torji from CT. And Mezzi's just going to jump into the open with Molly in hand.
Brolan Pride.
He goes down, and another round for MOUZ picked up.
They're starting very well in the second half to make a game out of it.
Number 1 yan.
4 in a row, 6-10. Getting a little bit closer, but we're not there yet.
Yeah, they built a decent amount of money for themselves as well on this CT side. Vitality have got enough for another buy here with rifles.
Well, Torji's op is in the field of play now as well, so let's see what he's doing. We haven't really had to talk about it too much.
No, we haven't.
But it has been on fire throughout this event. Quiet obviously in map 1 and so far in map 2, but CT side Mirage, let's see if he can get it rolling, because that's going to be great for the rest of this series.
Yeah, it took a while to figure out what they wanted to buy here, Vitality, but in the last second they throw an AK on to ZywOo and roll to the Galil. Some utility and a direct hit into the A bomb site. No lurks. It's all about getting out A. 4 through ramp, 1 through Palace, and here they come. Vitality on the charge. And it's that Torzi op that you just mentioned.
We miss.
Not able to connect on the first time of asking. He has to relinquish control of CT, and this opens up a gap as Vitality starts to move through on it.
Yeah, the top-rated player of the event so far hasn't been able to have impact in these grand finals. Now MOUZ is going to sit patiently behind these smokes in this utility, trying to delay, trying to harass and deal damage as this bomb gets planted.
Good plan.
So first step is there for Vitality, but the hardest one is winning the round.
This isn't even a full buy for Vitality, not even a full investment. But they're in the site, and they're always dangerous when they get themselves into these positions. But Brolin finds the follow-up kill. It's now a 5v3 on the retake. But the 2 rifles still alive, and one of them in the hands of ZywOo. Deadly to the headshot. Steps out into the open. But Yimpet on the cleanup with Torzi beside him. And MOUZ makes sure it's not a Vitality round win.
Nice attempt from Vitality, getting aggressive on the retake when the MOUZ players are in transition. ZywOo's able to grab a couple, but too much of an advantage for the MOUZ defense.
Abang pira kanina eh.
And a second timeout called out by
maliit
Vitality.
yan. Wala yan.
Starting to feel
Kaya mo sa, sa
a little
Colon
bit
next.
of worry. Not panicked yet.
IEM
But
Colon.
MOUZ have won 5 in a row.
Sobrang haba yan.
They've handled your executes
hanggang second floor yan.
with no problem.
Yung cap. Pati yung sa,
And they're
yung sa
now within
Melbourne.
striking distance, just 3 rounds back. So for Vitality, they're saying we need to stop this right here, right now. Fist bumps are out, and maybe a change of style. Maybe instead of these A execs with the low buys, maybe we do see them go back to that
Pahabaan kayo ng stake dun eh.
spread out across the map. Give some individuals freedom.
Ano? Matawag dun sa baril na yun? Revolver. Si JL dapat.
Torzi.
Yan din eh. Sa Navi.
Smooth moves. He'll get himself to short. Vitality have the mid control.
Oy! Heads up.
Exertion trying to make it a little more difficult for ZywOo. Sends one bullet through the smoke. Brolin's pushed up in ramp.
May laban na.
A nice little position for him that gives him flexibility. Exertion can be a little bit more free roaming towards top con. Spinks hiding in the window.
Pinapakilig na naman.
Vitality take mid, and they take mid control. Smoke out to deny the information that they vacated the premises. It's back around to the A bomb site. So similar idea, but they just wanted to start it with mid control to see if they can keep the defense away.
Yeah, but Brolin's on his toes. He's aware of this possibility. He's aware that the A play might be queued up. Can he stop it? Can he make it more difficult at least? First up,
good pick. Good shoulder pick.
Follows up on the double peek. ZywOo and Mezzi creating space into the A bomb site. Towards
Triple.
shut them down. It's a good quick kill on Mezzi.
Triple up.
Is there anything else in the AWP at the back of the bomb site? And there won't be because they're rotating because Robs is calling him to come back to B.
Number 6 is number 6 si Robs.
There's a huge amount of space. His impact comes back, but is he going to get shut down by Robs?
Baka nasa market lang par.
So much
I'm
attention
here.
to the A bomb site. Vitality
I'm
simulated
here.
that so well. Wasn't meant to be a
Ganda
fake. It
lang
was meant to be an exact
block naman ni
which is
Robs
why
dun.
it felt so real to
Gandang
MOUZ. They've
info.
all shifted away, and Robs has found the foothold
Gandang
inside the B bomb
info
site.
talaga.
Yimbat coming back to see what he can recover, but I think it's too late.
Well, they're already in. The bomb now coming, and he's going to do damage to the bomb carrier, but he can't stop them from getting in the site. And Apex is going to stop them from rotating. As he gets to top middle, Exertion is cut off, and MOUZ fall to just 3 plays, and they're a long way off winning this. They're a long way off winning this. With that kill on Apex, numbers again even.
Oy, wala na kayong
And
smoke.
Yimpat knows he did damage as well onto the player that jumped out of the window. That's ZywOo. Yimpat tapping away to the bench player, doing more damage. Finished off by Torzy. Flames up next, and he's not going to miss. Not going to miss his chance. And it's all on Flames now as Spinks comes back in, and the wallbang to bring him down. Spinks wins an essential round for MOUZ
Gawa
to
kasi
keep
sa
this
clay lang
comeback going.
All the things
tumatagos
going wrong
yung
for MOUZ
bomba
on
eh.
Dust
Ay,
2 are now
yung
going
baril
right
eh.
in this second half. You get the benefit that spam down at the very end. Vitality even plays that very well. The bait from ZywOo with low HP. It's played perfectly. But 2 spam kills on this retake. A couple miracles for MOUZ. And now 6 in a row in this second half.
Galing 10 to ha, galing 10 to ha.
Dallas, the comeback is on. Do you want MOUZ to complete it?
2 rounds away. It looked like it was about to be a one-sided mirage.
Wala na rin ano dyan eh, wala na rin
MOUZ.
tatakasan eh.
And
Ganun
Mezzi
talaga eh.
already out of the ramp. He's got ZywOo in front of him. Look at this. Vitality has some space to play with.
They got him beat. They just need the kills now.
Can they take them? Will they boost up? Yes, they
Bro,
will. Brolin's
was
timing
there?
looked away.
Uy!
ZywOo's on the top
Good
of the stairs.
boost!
There's no way
Oh
Brolin's
my
ready for
god.
this.
One more. One more con.
ZywOo zaps away Brolin.
They still don't know about Exertion though. Similar position who can wheel himself out of con. Going to be smoked off now, but still has a chance for impact. Going to stick in con, wait for his teammates to arrive, play the 4-on-4. Another retake opportunity for MOUZ. The last one looked so clean. The retakes in this half have looked clean. 3 in a row diffuses MOUZ has. And 1 more needed to close the gap to just 1.
The wall bangs in the previous retake helped their woes, allowed them back into the site.
Wala kayong pala.
Gotta hope for some
Walang
success
utils
similar to
pala.
that now.
Timbos, kompleto pa.
Plenty of
Aray ko.
utility. Robs will burn, and he gets taken down. Quick first kill here for MOUZ on the retake.
Sandwich!
They
Oh my...
launch
Uy,
themselves
nice one,
in.
Apex.
This time ZywOo Mezzi on the
Ah,
fight, but it's just
yung
Mezzi
bomba.
left. The defuse being stuck is planted on default. Can he get there in time? Yeah! He gets there in time. It's Mezzi stealing it away.
The UK player.
And he just
The UK player.
And the desk mentioned it, how good this
Patay sana
supporting
siya
cast for
kung
Vitality
sinalo niya
has
yung bomba
been.
mismo.
We're always
Patay
going to
sana.
talk about ZywOo. We're always going to talk about Robs. But Mezzi has
Sobrang
delivered in so many
ito,
big
ay.
moments.
So close.
So impactful, so clutch.
So close.
And now we see if the story is the same as it was on Dust 2. An incredible run from MOUZ to get back into the map, but a single loss. Does that shake them off kilter? Does that ruin their rhythm?
Well, it was enough on Dust 2 to destroy them.
Ako, pag natalo yung
them
mouse dito sa
disappear.
next round, wala silang pera. Same lang pala
So
sa
let's see some of that
Vitality.
mentality they've been talking so much
Kasi wala na
about.
rin lost bonus.
Time to dig deep. And well, it's just a rinse and repeat.
Reset na yung mga lost bonus.
For sure.
Only one player here. It's Torch
Uy!
going to make the difference this time. Torches flames.
Takbo lang na takbo. Sige. Lako, may naubos na.
Robs
Good
opening
drops.
up, another fight towards Brolin, gets into the connector.
Oy, narinig ah.
Robs goes down, Spinks again, another impact kill for MOUZ. ZywOo diving down, out of balance,
ZywOo.
and once again it is ZywOo tasked with a clutch for vitality. This is the sharpest tool they have.
21 kills.
The weapon of mass destruction in ZywOo, and he's gonna bring it down to the
One more.
1v1.
1v1.
The game, or the Hungarian highlight.
ZywOo
against Torzy. Defuse tapped, not the stake. ZywOo starting to move in, and it's Torzy.
The fake shot. The fake.
Dropping ZywOo. And he's had a great run of form
Mga
here
pira.
at Dallas. And he's gonna respond to the Vitality win with one of his own. Keeps MOUZ in the fight.
Yeah, and he's the sharpest tool that MOUZ have, and he's the sharpest tool we've got in the tournament.
Ha? May foul pa,
Such
may
a
foul
good
pa.
event for him,
May
and
foul
an
to give.
important clutch to keep this comeback going and reverse that stop. MOUZ
Ay,
from falling
may
into
foul
that
to
pit
give
of
yan.
despair they
Foul to give
encountered on
yan.
Dust 2.
Lang mga pera eh.
And Spinks is learning a lesson. If you're going to take that kind of a stance against ZywOo, you better nail the shot. He's not going to forgive you and not let you get away. Torzy saves him.
A pretty calm reaction as well from Torzy winning the 1v1 against ZywOo. Knows the job is
Almost
not
point of
done.
time.
That is just merely a lifeline. They still
Hero
have
buy?
to swim
Hero
back
buy
to
lang.
shore.
AK. Hero buy lang. Hero buy. Kay
But at
ZywOo.
least this time on
Ay!
this map, they can
Call
look
niya
at
na
this
yan.
run and be like, we've been
Call
doing it this whole
ni
time.
Apex yan.
The CT side has been locked
Buy one
down. We
AK,
know exactly
give it to
what we're
Rob,
doing.
give
We can
it
handle
to
Vitality
ZywOo.
here.
And
We
trust
don't
him.
have those doubts that Dust 2 introduced.
Nakita ko to kahapon kay ano.
An incredible run in Vitality, gonna buy
Kay
into this round. A smaller
Monesi.
investment with the full losing bonus.
Sa Reels.
Pistols in the one hero
Yan.
AK-47 on
Isang
ZywOo.
AK, bigay mo kay ZywOo. Tara na
But
agad.
their
Trust na
T-side
tayo.
really
Ganun.
struggling as
Hayaan mo siyang
MOUZ's
gumawa.
defense has hit an incredible level. The last 4
Only
round
Apex.
wins for MOUZ have been defuses and retakes. They've looked clean. It's all a fake and it's working. Look how hard MOUZ bit on this. Look at the rotation on the minimap. Just now, Exertion getting back into position.
Exertion.
Yun na.
Gonna get one. I was hoping for a little bit more on that peak. He had the element of surprise for the
Walang
distraction set up
HP,
from his
ano?
teammate in the sight, but not enough to feel comfortable here if you're
Walang
MOUZ.
HP
No,
na.
definitely not if you're Brolin, low HP, and you got everyone to worry about.
Rob's
Dalawa
trying
na
to fight
to.
down CT, but he knows he
Dalawa
wants
na
that
to.
low HP player. He wants to get it, and
Hey!
he's got it. Rob's in the hunt. Successful. He catched himself for Brolin. And now the plant is being secured. Apex looking to put it down. Spinks not
Wala.
there in time to
Na-plant,
deny it.
na-plant.
And so the fuse is lit. Will it be 12 for Vitality off the back of it?
Planted para sa kanila lahat.
As he waits, up on ticket.
Nako,
It's gonna be
yun
Torzy,
lang.
straight to the head. Flames and Rops, 2v3, and the flank around the back.
Oh, that
And
could
Rops
be,
get there in
Planted
time.
kayo,
that could be the winning play.
Planted
Flames
kayo,
keeps him
Flames.
off the bomb.
He's got to keep them pinned.
Oh! Oh!
He taps on a Torzy.
Top, what a top!
Around the back. Flames
What?
is doing it all on his own. He doesn't even need Rops right now, but he'll be the
Bang, bang!
first.
Uy!
And he can't do it, so it is Flames required.
Wala
Time ticking,
pa.
dancing
Time
with
lang.
death,
Time
and
game.
Spinks does not have a kill.
Time
He does
game.
not have the time. And
Time
Vitality,
game.
they've got map point.
Yes, di pa mamatay si Flames.
It was Messi a couple rounds back. Now it's Flames. Incredibly precise shots.
Ganyan lagi call ni
And it's the
Apex pag
supporting
save.
cast. This is
Pag
what
force
makes
buy.
Vitality so
Force
strong.
buy.
This is what makes them so hard to
Bili kayo
beat.
isang AK, bigyan nyo kay Zywoo,
Zywoo's
hayaan mo
bringing you
siya.
to the finish line, but Messi and Flames with impact
The
to
one
bring
tap
you
po.
over.
And look what it's done to the money here for MOUZ as well. They're broken. They're completely shattered at the end. Flames with some beautiful shooting here. And it might just be enough to close out the second map of the best of 5.
And it's got to just be so
Aray
gutting
ko.
for MOUZ. Again, 2 maps in a row. Huge runs to come back into the maps. Contend down the
pera.
stretch.
And just think about it. It's a best of 5. You're going up against a team that hold a 29 win streak.
Kasi reset yung los
Sixth
bonus.
final, looking for their 6th title. How are you going to find the way to pull
Force,
back
ano to,
a
Force
best of 5 and
MP9s.
reverse sweep
Oh, yan,
it?
diba?
I just don't see a world in which that happens for MOUZ. If Vitality close Mirage here, they are likely looking at their 6th title and a 30th win in a row.
Up
This
of the
is what
NIP.
MOUZ have. 5-7s, D-goals, MP9, and a FAMAS.
It's not pretty, but you can always do something clever and creative. How prepared is Vitality going to be? And actually, it looks like they don't even want to let that clever and creative plan come into action. They just say, we'll stay grouped up. We don't need to spread out, thin out our attack and let you pick us off. Over to the B bomb site we go, and Apex, He hasn't called a play like this all throughout the half, so MOUZ have no idea it's coming. It's Yimpat alone with the Deagle.
Short smoke and entry smoke. Yan. Window smoke pala yun, window smoke.
Impact.
Oy, oy!
Gonna be cleared, no problem for Apex.
Oy, oy!
The Mag 10 not
Oy,
good
oy,
enough.
oy, oy!
And the last
Ayan,
ditch effort from MOUZ to lead back
good.
into the site. It doesn't look like it is going to be enough to
One
keep
shot,
them
one market.
going here. Space
Oy, oy,
has
oy,
to
one
make
shot
us
na.
believe.
Ah, shot.
But MP9, he
Bakit?
doesn't muster it, so it's
Oh,
Broken to step up instead.
Inaw.
The Swede looking
Oh!
for some sweetness, but it will not
GG.
be the fact. It is Vitality last year who came to Dallas and were defeated in the finals. But this time they are looking to destroy MOUZ to take that Dallas title.
Okay na. Ay! Easy pa 3-0. Ano pa next ha? Inferno pa next ha. Mapa pa ng Vitality ha. Safe na over 19.5 total map. Yes yan. Ay, may score. 39. 39. Tama. Ay, talo ka pa. Ay, tama pala. 39 nga ni. Ay, 3-0 na. 3-0 na. Okay, edit ko muna yung map. Map 2, Mirage, between 13-9. Aray ko. Okay. Mag-kill club muna tayo bago umalis. Bago mag-break. Ito na. Wait lang guys. May edit lang ako na 2-0 na Vitality. Bila din. Score. Zero. Oh. Club muna tayo guys. Oh, Vitality ulit. Vitality. Yung isa naman. Meron pa sila dito eh. MVP namin doon. May MVP ko si... May magiging MVP ko doon. Vitality. Ito si pa rin eh. Si Zywo pa rin eh. Ito pala. Vitality. Si Flamesy na lang, si Flamesy. Rifler. Ito, $15. Ang ganito. Kuha natin dito. Yan eh. Parang luwi ako ah. Luwi ko dito ah. Open. Sige, open. Exclusive. Ang Vitality na lang na case. Yung Vitality na case. Ito, Huntsman na lang. Huntsman. Baskill. Okay na. Ano din to? 13. Pa. 450 lang yun. 450. Magiging 13. Last 2. Ayaw batida? Magkano to? 5. Oh. Panalo pa rin ako. Last one na agad last. Strip Digol. Ayaw. Last. Mag 7 na naman. Last na talaga. Mag-7. Upgrade natin. Lagi, upgrade lang. I-upgrade natin dito. Yung tatlo. $4. Gawin natin $8. Pag nag-hit, isa pa. Mabot ka naman. Mabot ka! Aray ko! Wala. Genyo. Sticker. Ano? My God. Tama na. Ay, balik na lang kami guys mamaya guys. Minamalas ako. Parang delikado. Bye-bye.
Alam mo ba na 2 kick lang nasa laro ka na? Login with Steam at simulan na ang case opening sa Skin Club, ang ultimate CS2 skin case opening platform. With high drop rates, fair play at instant withdrawals, mas madali nang makuha ang dream skins mo. Gusto mo pa ng mas intense? Try case battles at skin upgrades for even bigger wins. Huwag magpahuli, bisitahin ang Skin Club ngayon at gamitin ang aming promo code na FocusFire.
So this call is just, you're faking that you're putting mid presence and then you bail out, but when you play with the confidence that Vitality has, they have all the information. Like, this is not fooling anyone, really, if you're on the side of MOUZ, right? They have all the control, all the information, and time again, they have a Joker in the A bomb site. Mid smoke obviously doesn't help the state of things here. And just one more time, Flames is going to do a great job of sort of drawing attention to himself, fighting. He's the A anchor. Oh, we killed the A guy, Well, actually, there's one more guy in the side, and he's going to be doing most of the work.
And just to add on here, there's a couple things going on. There's 2 smokes left for the side of MOUZ as well after they did all this mid stuff, and they all retreated. One of the last 2 smokes they had missed window, so it's only 1 more smoke they have for the A execute. And they leave nobody in middle, they leave no one underpass, just to wait, hide, let the reclear happen, then re-go late. Yeah, they have the Joker at B, but I mean, I feel like that's just such an overcook, needlessly.
Give me round 11.
I mean, more of the same stuff, more of the mid control trying to be taken by MOUZ. ZywOo does a nice play with the AWP, obviously, and I think this was the name of the game. The re-aggression coming in from FlameC, the push from Catwalk. At this point, it's a 5v2, and you think to yourself, this is over. Apex and the boys getting a little bit too overconfident, giving MOUZ another shot. It goes into a deep 2v2 where they play out the time, they sneak up towards the A bomb site, but ZywOo is in a prime position, and just like he did throughout the entire game, he's not going to miss this opportunity. Jimmy misses a Molotov on towards ZywOo as well, never gives himself a chance to win the round, and that's kind of the point right here. Vitality dominated middle throughout that entire first half, and even the one time they messed up, even the one time they gave MOUZ a chance to get into the game, they didn't capitalize.
Dude, also when it was 2v2, when it became a 2v2, there was 1 minute, 12 seconds on the round, and they ran out of time. It's like, come on, man. Like, what are we doing here? And I think also you could tell Vitality understood in the second half with some of their calling, right? Even this round is a B fake, right, into rushing down mid into con. That's what you call when your opponents are playing with confidence. They're gonna over-rotate thinking, oh, you're desperate, you're gonna call it B pop. No, you're 1 step ahead. They get the bomb down in a 4v3. Spinks does a great job of sneaking out, finding a kill. Mezzi and Flamesy have the guns now, and it's going to be all down to Flamesy, who's really stepping up in this final and in this tournament. In this situation, he finds both kills. Here plays it really, really well. Rops isn't able to finish off the frag, but doesn't matter because not enough time anymore, and Spix is now just playing for the kill. He even dies, Flame even gets out of there with his gun.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to say anything positive about that. When you lose a round like this, Josh, when you lose a game like this again where you get close, but you never really get close, it must be hard mentally to keep believing in the MOUZ camp.
Yeah, quite taxing all the way around. But let me go ahead and remind you all that we will catch up with our DHL MVP at the very conclusion of the game. So, without any further ado, check this out. That is correct. It is the DHL MVP time. This is where I'm going to ask you to really get in there, get into the trenches. Let's get some voting going on, and let's figure out who that DHL MVP is going to be that we catch up with at the very conclusion of this grand final. So, some of the front runners, this guy, ZywOo, seemingly all over the place, up-and-coming talent, right?
I mean, heading into the game, there was a case to be made that if FlameC or someone else had a monster grand final performance, it could have been another Vitality member, but with the way ZywOo is playing right now, with the impact he's showing here in Mirage, and I guess with the way that he's conducting himself, it's hard not to give him a vote.
Yeah, and if you're GymFat, you're real mad at the end of that, by the way, because of the Molotov and how it all plays out. Rops, okay, make a case.
Yeah, Rops, I mean, he's not been having the same type of tournament that you would expect from him, but the rest of the team hasn't been having the same effect. I mean, even ZywOo hasn't had the best rating, but Rops is there. He plays a certain role in the team, and that's the closer, and he's been doing a good job of that. In so many situations, him and ZywOo are left alone, and somehow you always know it's a winnable round.
Flames?
Flames, yeah, as the third star so far of this grand final, especially on that CT side, was doing a lot of work, finding a lot of impact. Even when his job was just to sort of bait for his teammate, he was able to find kills, had that huge clutch in the second half where Vitality was struggling to find some rounds, and definitely delivered for his team.
I just want to give FlameC right here. I know his KD didn't look that impressive, but he was involved in every single key round on that T side of Mirage, and he was the deciding factor, so to speak.
Especially the round he was able to escape back to Apps after the, Palace after they had already gotten the bomb plant. It was wild. So.
Yeah, I think it's interesting though. We talk about Vitality and their greatness and compare them to some of these other teams, like Astralis, and then talk about who are they the most dominant teams we've seen since them. And there's debate about that. I think we do have a team that we can definitely compare MOUZ to, and that's Team Liquid of 2018, right? 2018, where they were the second best team in the world, but they could not beat Astralis ever. The Astralis had their number every single time. Those games weren't close, and I think that's where MOUZ is at the moment. They don't think they can beat Vitality. They can't beat Vitality, and every time when they meet them, it's just, well, we know what's going to happen here.
Let me, because I feel the passion you're giving me off of that one right there. But let's just pause that idea for 1 second. Let's go hear from Xtas real quick.
Catching up with Xtas once again as they do take MOUZ's map pick of Mirage. I posed the question to him, what was the biggest thing you changed since last time around? He didn't give me a direct answer, but he did say he felt like the individuals and the team play were firing on all cylinders, obviously on that CT side. Things maybe got a little hasty when we moved on to that T side, but he said did a great job of closing the rounds out. Now, moving on into Inferno, I also said to him, surely the confidence level has to be even high moving into this one. He said, yeah, it's probably the same as the other maps in the pool. I don't know whether I'm buying it though, because he said he expected MOUZ, or he thought MOUZ would expect this to come in as the first map of this best of 5. And we all remember what went down in Lisbon on this very map.
Well, somebody in this arena just opened themselves a 2015 Cobblestone case. They didn't really pull anything from it, but I can assure you the real prize lies on the other side of this brick. We're going to be jumping into that next and potentially final map of this grand final at the Intel Extreme Masters in Dallas. So don't you move a muscle. We'll be right back, everybody.
Now, the Intel Extreme Masters isn't the only action going down here in Dallas. We have DreamHack right next door, where there's plenty of other activities, giveaways, esports going on, but most importantly, the Anthros booth. And I have managed to find myself Jordan to talk a little bit more about precision sitting, because it's a term that we always use, Jordan, but what exactly does it mean when it comes to these chairs?
A good question for it. Precision sitting is about making the chair adjust to you, right? All the chairs currently in the gaming space, you have to adjust to it. And that's where you see a lot of different kind of posture and tilting forward. So I'm gonna show you guys what exactly precision sitting is. And on the back, I'll turn here, there's 2 knobs here, which actually move the chair forward and back. So this one on the bottom moves this forward, which makes you go forward. And then on this side, the top moves forward. So I'll show you guys what that means. So when I sit in it, and I move this lower back, it gets it forward, and then this top one goes forward. And now I am sitting in a healthy posture. As a gamer in Counter-Strike, this is where we want to be, right? Full range of motion. I can move my elbows back. I'm not getting blocked by the back of the chair. And I can actually pull up to the table where I want to be and have my space exactly where I want it. I am not moving to the chair, right? The chair's moving to me where I want to be. The other great thing is the arms. They go in and they go away, so you don't have to take them off, which a lot of us do, right? So I can pull it up and actually unlock it. There's a locking mechanism, so I can lock in here, unlock it, and actually come back like this and have a stretch. I just pop my back. I can reset. I just lost a round or something like that. I need to refocus, come back forward, lock in, boom. I am back into that healthy sitting, ready for the next round.
I just had mine engineered by the CEO himself, and it feels incredibly comfortable. But that's not where the action ends for Anthos chairs, right? They're fully customizable. Do you want to show them a little bit of what they can do at home?
So we have these back panels on the back of the chairs that can actually be changed out. So as you buy our chair, you can fully customize the color, the caps on the knobs, the look of the chair from leather to fabric, and then the back panel. This is the cool part. It's like our skin, right? We all know what skins are in Counter-Strike, right? But this is your chair skin. It comes off the back very easily, and you can get your pros, your favorite teams, sign this, take it home, put it on your chair, and now your chair is a custom signed, like one of a kind. It's super cool. And if you get tired of this back and you want to change it out, cool, we have all kinds of different backs that you can choose from and swap out, and then boom, you're home.
Want to give us a little swivel and show exactly where it is? Because I know that players have signed a lot of weird stuff in their time, but this is really cool because you're going to be sitting with your favorite player all the time.
Yeah, as you saw that one, it was wood. So you can, if you know, a lot of us have spouses or we work from home, so you can actually have it fit your room and the way it looks, and then you can change it into gaming. It's that easy. So yeah, very customizable. Really excited to be here, work with ESL, amazing partners, and I hope you gamers out there give us a chance to really feel what real sitting is, because this is a life-changing chair. I have never sat in a chair that has fixed my back, my body, to allow me to work 8 hours and then game another 8 hours. We love it. We're hardcore sitters.
Throughout the series played in 2025 between these two teams, MOUZ has only been able to get win.
Alam mo ba na dalawang click lang nasa laro ka na? Log in with Steam at simulan na ang case opening sa Skin Club, ang ultimate CS2 skin case opening platform. With high drop rates, fair play at instant withdrawals, mas madali nang makuha ang dream skins mo. Gusto mo pa ng mas intense? Try case battles at skin upgrades for even bigger wins. Huwag magpahuli, bisitahin ng Skin Club ngayon at gamitin ang aming promo code na FocusFire.
Game!
And it's time, Dallas.
Game! Game 3!
The last map
Map
of
3!
Counter-Strike this weekend.
3-0 na. Good.
4 victories for Vitality on Inferno across 2025 against MOUZ. Just another obstacle they'll have to overcome, having never beat Vitality in the past 5 engagements, never taking this map away from them, and now you've got your Grand Finals life on the line as well. And you have the history of the first 2 maps fresh in your minds. Vitality getting out to big leads early, burying you, making you feel useless and impotent. Comebacks that brought you back in that fall short, it's happened twice. MOUZ surely feeling there's nothing they can do to beat this team. And it's
so
so
much utility they've got, Jason.
Yeah, so slow to start at the moment. Vitality just looking for MOUZ to come out with a different kind of attitude, with a different aggressive philosophy, trying to catch them off guard and just don't want to deal with it. So sit way back, and at about the minute mark, they've got complete banana control.
Exertion can drop his smoke and try and slow this down, but they've got enough to re-execute into the B-bomb side again. They're going to send that third player over straight away. Spinks rotating through Speedway. Here's a flash to help out. And MOUZ actually holding on to the util. The impact was his. He's on the other side of the map right now.
Because they're so passive and they haven't actually moved, they have no idea what's coming. Like, they needed that flashbang from Spinks, but he's shifted back to the A bomb site. He should be able to get here in time, and he will.
Well, that crossfire disrupted by the fire. And now comes the flames. Rolling in the fountain. Able to cool them off. And it's Exertion with a double. Oh, yeah, Exertion! Crossheads to the head and shots with the Torperettes. The gunslinger in Texas, and we've got the pistol for MOUZ.
Feel like that's the first time we've had to say his name with a round like that. A single-handed victory from Exertion. Has not been able to get going in this grand final. But that's exactly what MOUZ needed to get started. And we see what they can do when they get momentum. It's just too frequently it's ripped away from them. So this conversion in round 2, critically important. Thankfully, without a bomb plant due to Exertion's performance, Vitality will not buy. So a little bit of an easier time to start things out for MOUZ. They'll wait for the third round for the AKs to come in.
Uy, higab na ako. Rangkapin na to ah. Zero na nga, pack yung Apex pa rin.
I talked to Apex after the last map. He said you guys got quiet.
Whoa.
He said you guys got no energy.
Whoa. Let's go Mongols.
Mizinho.
Torzy now looking to shut them down. It's just one kill for him, and the pressure is going to be up on him. Rolling to clean up Apex, and we got Flames and Mezzi, the last two Vitality players, and they will fall. It's a good start here for MOUZ, 2-0.
Yeah, but now the real test comes out, or the first test comes out in terms of the AK-47s. All across the board for Vitality. You guys are absolutely wild. Thank you for another good weekend, Dallas. Round 3 underway. First gun round, and Molotov sent up towards Banana.
Yeah, Exertion going to be behind the Flames this time. A lot of utility to back him up as well. A bucket load with Brolin. A month of Counter-Strike in the USA. And we're just getting started. ZywOo on top of the half-life.
Bang! Papangal by ZywOo.
Spinks to Trey, but it's short-lived thanks to Mezzi on the follow-up, and now Brolin's caught out of position, and they make it look easy.
Yeah, the trade game is so efficient today for Vitality. They haven't slipped up in that regard at all, and you still have Rops over on the other side of the map lurking in holes. So there's no safety for Torji and Yimfat at the moment, although, of course, having played 4 times on this map, they'll be well aware of Rops' tendencies.
Upset. Bang!
What are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do about that kind of a peak?
Yung tinutukan niya, Boiler. Ayan. Sa Prioles.
Now Torzy. Ooh, goes into Boiler.
And Boiler, bang!
And nothing at all.
Sa letter E.
Vitality once again with no mercy to MOUZ.
Rops has got to be the greatest solo player we've got in the game. On the anchor on the CT side and now over on the T side, just holding positions, being that second option for your team, making sure and denying map control from your opponents. He's just so dang good.
Tuto nyo para pagpawisan ng Vitality lagi na lang easy win sa finals. Pag natuto, wala na to. Switch na lang kayo.
Busting up the stack and breaking in, and now MOUZ quickly down to just an MP957, 3 rifles, but missing utility.
Not a whole lot of hope here for MOUZ, but we'll see how the triple stack outside of Banana goes.
Uy, tatlo yan!
Oh, it's gonna be a
Uy,
barrage to
kulang
Brolin.
pa, may 10 pa si Brolan.
Health ruined, the impact down straight away. Torzy offers himself up into the fight
Uy,
versus
double
Rops. He's actually going to win that fight in the apartments. A key kill to keep his team in this round.
Yeah, good find onto Rops as well, but so much damage onto Brolin. He's brought very low. He's got to shift away from the B bomb site. No reason for him to stick around, so it's just exertion. MP9, he's got a smoke to drop if he gets in trouble. But, okay, wide swing, he gets back in time. Vitality's happy to force out the delay, and things will settle for just a moment. MOUZ has to think to save these weapons. No one even going to attempt to help exertion at the B bomb site. When this hit comes in, he'll either fall back and save with the rest of his team or he'll just end up dying.
Let's see how much he can muster. MP9 in the coffin smoke. He's held behind it. Can't really get anything going.
Spinks and Brolin still haven't moved. This round's done. It's gonna be 2-2 tied up. And the simple thing is MOUZ just don't want their economy and the weapons to disappear. So they'll bring the 2 M4s into the next round. And FAMAS, this is a good call from MOUZ. It gives you another buy back-to-back, despite not having the funds for it.
Save the guns.
But this can't be a trend. We see it on Inferno frequently. We know how often and how if there's a convincing site take, the other site just kind of has to save. Rotations are long. You're rotating at a really tough choke points to manage. And MOUZ has to make sure that moving forward into the rest of this half, like they can't just lose the B bomb site without trades, without resistance, without slowing down Vitality. If they can't buy time for teammates to get over and help them, they're in for a world of hurt.
The save gives him another chance, but will they take it?
DW for my birthday.
Happy birthday. But it might just be V-Day again.
All right, well, round 5. What are we getting into this one? MOUZ is trying to save a little bit of money while having enough to be dangerous. So it's a light investment in terms of the nades that they pick up in terms of kits. They haven't grabbed any of those. Yimfat going to stay away from armor as well. So just trying to shore up as much cast for the next round as the losing bonus hasn't fully built up.
Ugh. Not going to be happy about that, Torzy. Just over, or rather under half his health. Taken off with that grenade. He's going to drop back and play from short. Flames just got the apartment, starting to move through the bedroom. We'll soon confirm that he is the sole tenant. Brolin to move forward with a smoke that lands on the half wall, laying down some fire. And it's ZywOo to take the brunt of the damage.
Yeah, that's a really nice find from Brolin. A little bit of unconfirmed damage, but softens up ZywOo for later on. And once again, they leave Brolin all on his lonesome at this B-bomb site. Wonder if there'll be a shift back on a certain timing. Spinks and exertion on Rap side. Torji and Yimfat doubling up towards Pit. Banana control now taken for Vitality. They've got brackets to pressure the A-bomb site. They've got Banana to pressure the B-bomb site. And MOUZ have no idea which one they're going to finish at yet.
Messi into the open and to his death. Brolin grabbing the opening kill here for MOUZ with 40 seconds left. Look where the bomb is. All the way at the back of the T-stairs. At least Apex getting some space here for a squad, but they need to pick that bomb up and get over to B, and Apex has been traded out, so not looking too pretty here for Vitality. It's Ross to make the next move, and he's stopped. So this round goes nowhere. Vitality falls flat, and MOUZ back into the lead.
Yeah, that felt very curious. There was no finishing move whatsoever. Players trying to trade out at the B-bomb site, trying to find Brolin, and just kind of one by one they've leaked in. It felt like they never really had a team unified decision to attack and commit to things.
Gets across.
Yeah, but he doesn't know there's one player in the back, so planting in the smoke, you might be able to get away with it, but
Need something special now. Flames looking for the first step, and he just can't connect it onto exertion. So MOUZ do eventually take the lead. A small chance for Flames, but not taken.
No, that was always going to be near impossible. A couple of kills would have been nice, but if you're MOUZ, you're happy about that save call in the previous round because it kept the weapons in your hands that you used to win this one. So it's given you a 3-2 lead. As these two teams exchange runs in the early going of Inferno. Good round from exertion, continuing that form from the pistol. And the first time out used from Vitality. And yeah, it makes sense. I think a round like that had to have been frustrating. We saw Apex there in the camera, although that's nothing new to us. But just the way it kind of got away from Vitality as a team. Too many players falling, not really convinced, not really coordinated. And a huge task in this map as well for Cyclone, for MOUZ.
Open mo nga.
who knows they're going to encounter difficulty, who's watched his team collapse on 2 maps in these finals.
Gold. Oh, DC! Offline mode. Offline mode.
It would have been cool though. Round 6, up in Torji's hands. And this is a map we know he can come on fire. If Torji has a good Inferno here, MOUZ can run up the CT side scoreboard. He's gonna be boosted up over the smoke in middle, wants a chance at it, but scared away by the bullets. ZywOo yet again coming on the losing side of that utility exchange in Banana. This time just eats 1 down to 53. Mezzi as well in the same position.
Exertion gonna eat 1 nade, but it's not gonna be a whole lot of damage. Mezzi then jumps up. Exertion wins the fight. Apex an essential trade for Vitality. ZywOo to follow up. That's the B bomb site. That's it. That's everybody that was there.
Yeah, this is what I talked about just a couple rounds ago. That hit is way too convincing. Brolin falling that fast after the fact, and you leave Jimmy, Spinks, and Torji with nothing to do. No point in them shifting over. They know they've still got Rops to find as well. So they're still in danger. And a very convincing round from Vitality.
How far does Rops want to push this?
They don't really, Vitality, have enough funds to go for any kind of a hunt, so Rops might just kind of peek in on his lonesome, but he's knows the likeliest place for them to save is over in pit. That's not a great fight for him whatsoever, so just looking to see if anyone pushes out. MOUZ should be fine keeping these weapons into the next round without any kind of a hunt, but we're tied yet again at 3.
Three. Dreams and Nightmare. Oh! Walang
You
ya
should try it on
talaga.
your Steam Deck. I hear that goes well.
Walang ya talaga eh. Walang ya sa walang ya eh.
And the B bomb site falls down to the ZywOo follow-up. So 3-3 scoreline all tied up again. And Mezzi makes his march into Banana. He's got ZywOo beside him. And ZywOo, I don't know how he's not taking any damage whatsoever. The fire doesn't spread to his feet, so he just sits back behind the logs. And ZywOo will be happy about that.
Feeling ko ano to? Over talaga to, over.
Rob's going to be at the end of halls and angle deep. Okay, Torji, you're in danger and you don't know it yet. If you back up, if you just lose focus for a moment. Thankfully for Torji, he steps forward. It's Brolin who might be at risk. And just by sheer luck alone, they avoid running into Rops' crosshairs. Vitality lining up an attack to the A bomb site. Left side going to be smoked off. Torji going to be blocked off. How fast, how aggressive do they want to take this attack up short?
Blinded, forced back into the archway. Rob's going to miss his utility. In fact, it's a little bit of blowback in the apartments. He's got 45 seconds to try and recover this. Utility's going to come up long. Spinks into the fight, but nothing. Nothing from Spinks, and an opening now as
one
pressure
side,
mounts
one
to the two
pit.
remaining defenders of the A bomb site.
Check side.
Torji in the
Pit.
side, overwhelmed, overrun, but Yimpat
Whoa.
looks to protect him for a little bit longer from Pit. It's 2 from the Finn.
Gravity.
It looks still good for Vitality. As Exertion and Brolin held out.
You're still not having any success on the initial fights when these attacks begin if you're MOUZ,
save
which means
now,
even though Jimmy gets you a great double kill from Pit, it has no impact in the round. It can't actually turn the fortunes of what's occurring. Vitality are just beating you 4-3. They're keeping it close, but
may pera pa naman next
they
round.
cannot find a consistent way to win against
3-7
Vitality.
kay Torsi, 1-7-1-5. May magkano ba yung plus
Vitality increased their score on the T side to 4.
Hero to na sila eh.
That chicken is going
chicken.
bye-bye.
Bye-bye, chicken. Chicken steak. Chicken steak. Oh.
Devastating.
One round lead for Vitality. 2 map lead in these grand finals as the first time out is called from MOUZ. If you're the MOUZ team during this, you're just thinking, we had that conversation coming into this map after losing Dust 2, after losing Mirage. It hasn't gotten started the way we would have liked. It's yet another situation we're going to have to dig ourselves out of. We weren't able to capitalize on the early success. Cyclone trying to tell his boys,
wala eh, nag-choke yung
stay
Mongols eh.
focused,
Ikaw Mongols
make
dapat.
some information plays, start having courageous ideas.
Super cheer sana yung ano.
Keep talking to each other. We have to workshop these problems live.
Dito yung best.
And probably thinking as well and
I
hoping
did
that the
my
next MOUZ
best.
run, as we got it on Dust 2,
My
as we got
best.
it on Mirage, the
Got
MOUZ run on
really
Inferno
good,
cannot
you
come too
know.
late. It has to be much earlier.
Wala eh. Na-max round sila eh. Uy, yun yun.
ZywOo creating his own gap in the smoke. Not given an opportunity is Exertion. Takes a tighter angle, just boosted behind the half wall.
Flash. Oh, dun pala yung
Now
flash.
into banana.
Good.
MOUZ starting to make his
Okay.
march. He's got his teammates in behind him. ZywOo
Yung
Flame
info, yung
following up in
info na
behind
naman
him.
sa Inferno.
Space is slowly but surely
Thank you,
being taken.
Apex.
First fight again will be Exertion. Can he handle them this time? Up first is MOUZ. Exertion catches a good timing, peeking out from the back of the sandbags just as MOUZ was
Uy,
looking the
tag!
other way.
Uy, nasunog!
Burning away Brolin.
Hapol,
Exertion
hapol!
still around.
Oh,
Shot from
ZywOo!
Not enough to bring him down, and so Exertion gets one more.
And once again, they beat him at the B bomb site. There's a third player here, it's Spinks, but he's going to come on through, spamming in, found, of course, by ZywOo.
Smoke. All bang,
ZywOo's
headshot.
had very few kills to kick off Inferno, but all of them have been towards Banana. And all of them impact kills to make sure that there's no chance for the B bomb site defense.
Yeah, they've always been the player who's like the last line of defense at the bomb site, so a lot of impact for ZywOo, despite the fact only 3 kills so far.
That's okay, Jeff.
Low fragging game as MOUZ has been forced to save so many times, round and round again. And
yeah, they're having a look, but again, it's just so
Save nyo
frustrating.
na.
But it's
Ratatouille.
a tough pill they have to swallow. It's one where they have to back
Sino
away,
pangalan? Sino pangalan
retreat to
nun?
save their weapons, and give them
Yung
another
lagay
shot
dun
at the
sa
next
Ratatouille.
round. We're watching Vitality just build on this T
Kalimutan ko
side.
yung pangalan.
I don't think MOUZ has gotten a stop at the B bomb site really
Yeah,
all that well yet.
Si Remy pala, si Remy.
Vitality's been able to take this a number of times, a massive weakness on the map.
We've seen Vitality. They've shown comfort even in the group stages against some of the lesser teams. They opened up against Legacy, and they won that map just by going B on Inferno over and over again for the entire T
Tenso
side.
beans.
So they've shown a willingness.
Tenso
If B
beans.
is weak, if it feels like they can get in, they're just going to keep doing it.
Yeah, 5 of the last 6 rounds
Ay.
won by Vitality.
Under 8
4 of
AM
those
ata.
5 bomb plants. They're getting into the bomb sites at will with no issues. Right down through the smoke as Spinks is in a moment of desperation. So Cyclone trying to
Oh, 3-0 na
get some
naman.
emotional support out to the boys. They're down by 2, but
Aray
weapons in this
ko.
round are labored. Off, saved by Torji, so
Getting
that's
boring.
still around.
He's trying to make it sing
Buti
down
di
Banana
pumitik si
early on, but
ZywOo,
with that
pumitik
smoke
yun
up,
sa
severs off his
Torsi.
vision, and the AWP cannot chime in. They know it's positioned towards B early on, and so Rops feels like there's more space, there's more comfort taking peeks
Sa
of
pangkabi.
brackets, knowing he's not going to be picked off by that AWP.
And he's so good at picking and choosing rounds in which he wants to make that kind of aggressive peek, right? Most of the time he's just quiet, he's lurking, he adds in just an aggressive peek every once in a while to catch the defender off guard. Player who really loves the mind games with his equivalent on the other side of the server. So Torji's
wag kayo
holding this
pumik.
up, but he's
Wag
got
kayo
no
pumik.
smoke, no
Wag kayo mag-slow
Molotov.
pick.
So as soon as he fires, he's
Wag kayo
got to back
mag-slow
away.
pick.
Exertion is coming in support.
Please, or flash kayo, flash,
Will it be
flash,
enough?
flash.
There's been no stopping power
Flash
at the
kayo.
B bomb site, but perhaps the difference is this AWP in the hands of Torzi. But the utility is canceling him out. It's keeping him at
Good
bay.
din, good din.
And so Mezzi's going to charge in off the back
Up.
of the utility. The
Sandwich.
execution is successful. Exertion with
Nice.
1, but not enough to hold on to B. And look at Apex. He's pushed through
Apex,
that
doon mo
CT
pa
smoke,
masol.
going to be a thorn in their
Doon mo
side.
pa masol.
Denies the ability for Torji to fall back
Tyler.
as well. They know they have him locked in
Good dep, good
towards
dep.
ruins.
Torzi's committed to it, but he runs
You're dead,
away.
Torzi.
And Apex is ready to rip it out of his hands. Rops on the
Eh,
double
nawala na yung
banana.
ano. Nawala na yung
And
up.
once again, it's Vitality just upping the gear, driving towards
Good.
victory.
Good.
Show no stop.
It's Vitality superiority
Apex was
every
have you
single
tried
map
this
today.
one?
MOUZ looking like they'll leave this grand final with 6 straight series losses to Vitality. And the club of teams who have never overcome them is growing larger.
And they run into their two, we call them rivals. The two teams that are able to play them pretty close in the games, right? We've got Falcons earlier on in the competition. Vitality cast them aside in the semis. Now MOUZ in the grand finals. They could be winning this one 3-0. We thought perhaps this is the event where Vitality lose the streak.
But
if anything, they're going into the major with full strength as
Apex
rounds the corner and takes exertions head off, and he's not slowing down.
Oh
Apex
my God!
on the hunt, and the Predator eats them
The 1 HP, the 1 HP, the 1 bullet.
Grabe naman si Apex. It was a bad decision, but he wanted them all. He was so aggressive. Didn't care about the reload either. And Apex wanted to get a highlight in these grand finals. Been watching his teammates do it all 3 maps. Now it's his turn.
I love that he did it with his little amount of bullets as he had, right? The last couple of bullets in that AK, and he still gets the final kill on the third. He's 40, you're right. This is incredible. What a performance at Apex, turning around his career, right? This has been a fantastic year for him, in-game leading, but also seeing an elevation in his own individual performance, right? This is the most impressive part about Apex. The switch in his career from entry fragger to now in-game leader. It's been a long journey to get into a position where he's considered one of the best, but also he was criticized for his own individual performances during the previous years under the Vitality jersey. But this year he stepped up, and we're seeing a massive difference.
Well, I think it's all been a journey for Apex, right? If you think his switch into in-game leader back in 2020 started out a little bit rocky, and then came the Danish era in Vitality. When Zana came over, when Magus came over, when Dupree was there, they end up winning the Paris Major, but Apex himself had to establish his kind of dominance as an IGL, saying we're playing it the way that I want to. And now 6 of these years, he's paired up, he's brought his friend Xtaz in, who's got a lot of confidence in his coach, and he's finally got a
I don't need
system
reload.
He can focus
I want
more on
tap.
the fragging, where
I
he's
two
got
tap
everyone
pala,
on the
two
same
tap.
page.
I
With the
two
work
taps.
they put in over the last 2 to 3 years, he gets more time, he gets more freedom to focus on his individual prowess, and it's paying off in the year 2025.
Missed out on the title in Dallas last year to G2. This year, no one can keep it away from him.
Huh? Bro, last tilted.
2 rounds left in the half.
Bro, last tilted.
MOUZ need them. Fighting for it in mid. Challenging in banana.
Uy, sayang.
And it's perfect. 4 kills in the blink of an eye for MOUZ. And off the back of those 4 kills, soon to be 5, and it's a 4th round as Flames trying to ignite something in banana, but he's caught on the flank from behind. Spinks will hunt him down, and MOUZ realize they need to bring a little bit of fight into these rounds. Can they secure the 5th?
It's amazing that round looks so perfect, where they've struggled with that exact same fighting situation throughout this half. Vitality up until that round have gotten banana whenever they wanted it. Good trades. There's Rops with his aggressive decision again, this time caught off guard and through the smoke, doesn't work. Final round of the first half on Inferno.
Nag-3-1 din ako eh.
Utility being stockpiled towards the B bomb site for MOUZ's defense. And this time Vitality get a little bit of pace up mid.
Mukhang delikado na naman tayo.
Getting in the boiler. Losing his head.
Wait lang. Malay mo naman sa switch siya.
There another Hungarian headshot. Apex is silent.
Oh, the timing.
Oh, this is perfect.
He just heard the footsteps too, I would imagine, unless it got obscured by Nate blowing up. But he's going to tell his teams, I'm wrapping around A right now. I've got space, I've got freedom.
You can see how vocal he is.
Yeah, start coming this direction.
Oh, he's got a lot of space.
Apex with the move.
Apex with the play. There's the frag on
pit,
Torsi. Can he find the second? He gives the information over. Rob's trying to close it down, but Spinks has arrived just in time.
Alarms.
Might have needed that pit player first. No trigger discipline.
While in North America, MOUZ pleading for the 5th, but it's Mezzi to try and take away the rights. He's into the site with a plank going down on default.
The UK player. The UK player.
Available for Merriman.
Rinig na.
Into the boiler he goes. He slips away.
The UK player.
And now he could be anywhere.
Galing.
Mezzi could be anywhere. Starts to move out of boiler again. He's got a bit of space. Fortunately, MOUZ have a lot of utility, a lot of pressure, and they will get that 5th round to round out the first half of Inferno. If MOUZ are to do it, it's going to take a special comeback in this series, but at least they're still in the fight.
Kung na-headshot sana, okay pa. Bam, bam. Nakardo yung una eh. Guys, wala akong balance ha. Tapos na ha. Ito. Yan natin ito. One, two, three, go! Pinta balik tayo. Let's go. Saglit lang. Ito ba to? Tayo ng iba lang. Kulay green. Kulay green. Wala nyo lang naman. Disable. Star Trek flashback. Ano to? Magkano to? $1? Oh my god. Star Trek bronze deco. $1. Aray ko. 1 minute pa naman sila eh. Arthritis. $3. Malaki lang sana. Malaki. Please, makabawi man lang. Emporosaurus. Susunod guys, papag-giveaway kami dito. Yung mga naka-ready na rin naman eh. Abang-abang lang kayo. Ice cold. Kano ice cold? $5. Pasel mo na. Nag-ipon pa kami. 7.5. Vitality. Last. Green laminate. Factory new. Sarap eh, no? Maganda yan eh. Mga blue laminate, mga laminate. Mag-give pa nga bigla.
Please comment. CY Sturjack.
No.
Masters trophy here
Game
in
na.
Dallas. Another one they get a lift in here where they just seem unbeatable.
Pwede pag-giveaway yun. Green laminate. Kaya niya? Tapong ko to. Ayaw niya?
And it doesn't feel like that's gonna happen now. But MOUZ have one last chance to change the way we look at this team.
Register na kayo. Ayaw niya? Tapon namin yun.
Second half underway as Spinks is going to be sprinting up through Banana. He's got all of his teammates filtering in. Just one player here, and it's Apex.
5-3-0 pa ata. Unlike last match. Oh, last match sila 3-2 eh.
And they run right by him.
Oy!
First headshot.
Oy!
Heads turn. It's only one.
Look at the flank. They're already here very quickly at Banana though, and nobody's there to protect the bomb player. They're pushing forward.
The bomb spilled into the site. The bomb spilled into the site because that one kill from Apex. So
pag namatay si Torosy, yung bomba yan. Wala ka, Torosy!
Look at this. Vitality all arrived. Vitality in the better position all of a sudden. And Torosy with a last-ditch effort. Looking for plans C at this point to get back into the round for MOUZ. Rob's not letting them have any room to move. Spinks will have to fight his way out of it.
Napatay na si Torosy.
Flames are
Drop
going to
name
clutch
drop,
up him down.
bomb.
He's
Ala
looking
ka!
back to CT. It's going to be Zywoo taking him
Ala!
down. And left alone.
Ah!
From Apex ends up being enough because the bomb hits the ground and Vitality sprint back in time.
They're so good at the moment of playing within themselves and
Aray
not
ko.
overextending.
Uy, binalik!
And these extended battles, this
Binalik yung
extended
Biriak.
piss around that goes on forever. No one from Vitality oversteps the mark. They're always in a position to help a teammate nearby. And that fast banana flank was the ruin to MOUZ's idea of pushing towards CT spawn, of pushing towards ruins and controlling it. A hero Galil on Spinks. Things are going to start getting desperate for MOUZ.
Yeah, without a pistol, winning the second half.
Yeah, grasping
It really
at
is looking impossible now.
grasping at anything that can bring you back into this game. The Galil's delivered you the opening kill. That's Flames to fall.
Yun, panalo pistol round. Goods yan, goods yan. Uy, yan. Uy, yan. Empire coin din yan, boss. Hindi. Skill lang talaga dito. AG.
Very
Skin
chill
lang.
from MOUZ. Testing the waters.
Ikaw, kung gusto mong
They have
ganun.
no utility, so
Pwede mo
it'll be
man-withdraw
hard
yun
to
eh.
find a finishing move
Yung
that's
skill.
effective. Apex has smoked nade over towards the B bomb site, and this is the final play of MOUZ. 4
Kasi lipat mo
members
dun.
here. One
Okay lang
lurker
naman yun
towards
eh.
A. It's exertion with the Glock.
They hear that smoke go down and they immediately just rotate away. Not wanting to go through it, not feeling comfortable that.
Yeah, but a weird timing. I mean, Vitality actually might get sold down the river. They just cleared
Mas kaya,
brackets.
kwentuhan na lang
Mezzi's
kita ng
sticking
buhay ko,
around,
ganun.
thankfully, so we can still have eyes on it, but they kind of think for the
Tama,
moment this is
ganun.
going to be a banana finish.
He's still got Rops in the balcony as well.
Pag nakakuha kayo mga knife dyan,
Player to have in that position. Let's see if
trade
Rops
nyo
is
sa
able to do
PM
anything
nyo
from
ako,
it.
tapos
It's only an MP9 though.
ibigay ko yung URL
Going
ko.
up against the Glock, so he could be overrun.
Tapos pag nag-operate na kayo, pag-accept ko. Pag-accept ko, kwentuhan ko na lang kayo ng buhay ko. Kahit wala ng picture.
Spinks in the bomb site.
Oh, kung
Plant
gusto nyo
locked in at
pa-picture, okay
least.
lang naman.
But can he go
Kwentuhan ko
all
kayo
the
ng
way?
buhay ko, okay na
Can he
yun.
win this round for MOUZ? It's a must-win to
At
kick
least
off
may
the
knife ako.
second half. And they move in together. Spinks against his former organization, against his former teammates, and Apex. No love lost. He's going to take it. MOUZ unable to get the miracle.
Yeah, an easy fight once they have him pinned down behind
Aray
the pillar. His
ko.
bullets
Yun
just
na lang
tapping
masasabi
away, making
namin.
sure he never gets a clean peek,
Aray
never a safe
ko.
peek. A little bit of danger in that for MOUZ, considering they brought a Galil and Glocks for the most part.
Kampi
so
na
not
naman,
too shabby to get a
3-0.
bomb plant there and
Ayun
3
na,
kills
post na
with
namin
man.
to.
How good is Rops?
Post mo na.
Pressured from 3 different angles and manages them all and still lands spectacular shots. 9-5. Vitality just 4 rounds away from the trophy.
Great boost. But a team play to open up. Apex going down in Banana. And an opening kill for MOUZ to work with. Can they hold on to it? That's the difficult part as they have to walk into a double stack. Rops and Zywoo. Tower of Terror. And Mezzi's going to be on the other side. Impact falling and the numbers going to an even 3v3.
Yeah, and disappearing inside the smoke. And even though you
Magtatalo
get the
pa
kill
kayo,
towards the B bomb
MOUZ.
side onto Apex, since you're so
Naku.
spread out towards middle, you got no
Nalugi
way to
pa
take
kayo sa
advantage
mga
of it. And now
MP9.
Zywoo,
Aray
all the
ko.
confidence in the world.
Freeway na nga dapat
Exertion
sa'yo.
might just catch him
Yuto!
around the corner. That's
Yun
Torgia.
lang.
Now he falls back.
Sa pasay mo, aray ko! Galil versus
He's
versus
eventually going to be taken out by
AK.
Exertion.
Natalo pa
There's
kayo.
53 seconds to win this for Exertion. We often talk about his opening prowess, but now he needs to become a closer.
Dalawin mo na AK
He'll
mo,
go back down
Dorsey.
to bottom Banana. There is a pathway
Ah,
to be
Exertion
at the
pala.
moment open.
Dalawain mo na.
This might be a hard clutch to put
I know,
together if you're
so-
Vitality. As soon as you make your move, if you move after this smoke fades, Exertion is thinking that's the likeliest scenario.
Up.
Into the smoke. Oh my god, okay.
Oh! Ay, bumarel! Bumarel si Gagi!
They get closer than they think.
If they passed to like that and he was able to get into the A bomb site for, I mean, there could have been something there, but would have just been blind luck. 10-5.
Problem is here for MOUZ, there's no money, no bomb plan secured, so you're sitting around $3,000 average. You're going to be picking up Tech 9s.
I mean, this is the last half buy you do. Everything after this is going to be everything you've got. You're throwing it all in. You have no more time to waste. You simply need to put rounds on the board. 3
Bumoril kasi,
to
ba't
start
bumoril
the
yun?
second half for Vitality.
Bogo man di ay ka. Ito pwede ba ito malasan? Puro Tech 9 Mach 10. Uwi, di pa to. Joke lang. Nalasan si tropa ko 7-Eleven.
Smoke broken open, Vitality just making all the right plays, never letting you stay comfortable. So try to recover 3 players up in halls.
Bilis na nga ito. Finals ah.
And for MOUZ,
3:30? O 6:30 pa lang?
They have one more chance this next round with guns to turn their fortunes on Inferno.
Yeah, real slow one for MOUZ as they set up for the A play. 3 players defending on this A bomb site. Rops in the pit. They're going to be perfect. Damage done onto Spinks, low HP, diving down into the pit itself with 40 seconds on the clock. The last-ditch effort stopped by ZywOo and Mezzi. And we're looking at 11-5. The force buy gets nowhere, or rather the half buy gets nowhere. And now it's the full buy. And the last time out is this is it for MOUZ.
Ay.
It looks like their stage demons will not be shaken off. They're not going to get past Vitality.
You have to call this one from scratch as well.
Oh, 6 months na.
You don't have any success to go
6
off
months
of.
na, kayo pa rin.
For Xtaz, it's just stay focused, play the same exact game. No
pa
need to
5 months
change
pa lang pala.
anything.
Wala pala sila
They
nung
can't
ano.
beat us. They can't break through this
January,
defense.
patalo pala
So
sila
nothing
dun sa
unusual for
plus.
Vitality.
Sa IEM pala sila nagsimula.
5 for MOUZ, all the utility you could ask for. They've got every bell and every whistle to fight here in round 17.
Sira nga talaga. 11 na sila.
But they have to be pretty close to perfect for the rest of this map. Vitality just 2 round wins away.
Is there life in MOUZ yet?
Nah.
Rops running down mid. ZywOo to send the grenade into the stairs. And Rops to move with it. Torzy getting tagged. Information given over to Rops. There's one close by. Torzy still going to win that fight. MOUZ have the advantage. Exertion burned
5
back.
months of Falcons na talaga sa Vitality.
Flame
Falcons,
sidesteps all the nade damage. Over towards halls we go. Spinks and Yimfat. It's ZywOo on the other side. Apex is the next defender over in Library. A is relatively weakened.
Ay. Hindi ka nag-check, J-Pat. GG ka, sabi na.
Taken out by Spinks in response. 4v3. Minute left. And MOUZ further on it. It is Spinks to come out of the balcony.
Exactly what they needed. Vitality was trying to cheat over towards the B-bomb site to get a jump on any kind of attack into the site. They thought that would be the finish. Apex drops his gun to recover AK-47. He's going to pick it back up regardless. Got blown away by a grenade, and they'll save the weapon. So MOUZ, they put their first run on the board. Now, we've had this in the first 2 maps. We've had this moment where MOUZ gained a little bit of control. They hit that stretch. On Dust 2, it was 6 rounds straight. On Mirage, it was 6 rounds straight. And then nothing after that. It was just an isolated run. It cannot be the case here.
Ano pala?
If they make it into a run, that question still needs to be answered if they can win 2 in a row.
True, Vitality hanging on to 2 save weapons at the moment. 2 AK-47s to go into the CT round. In the next, they've got plenty of money to buy around it as well. They're going to have all the supporting casts. WP for ZywOo if he wants it.
Matulog ng 7 AM.
Everybody else on the rifle.
Kaya.
To respond immediately for Vitality and go to 12.
Ha?
To go to championship point
Dalawa pa?
yet again.
Dalawang tulog na.
ZywOo trying to hardcore pre-aim, gets a little bit surprised, so can't double up on the second. A great round from Spinks.
Oh,
nice impact with the trade onto ZywOo and coming out balcony for another. A timeout is called by Vitality. Xtaz involved in the conversation. Gives chance for MOUZ to talk over because they're out of timeouts.
It's going to be full rifles here for Vitality, maintaining that. Same for MOUZ.
They have the option to get an AWP on the field.
Over 8 AM.
Apex has $5,000. He could drop one over, but ZywOo, I guess, hand-waving him off. Look at the team effort out of Team Vitality on this 3rd map. 11 kills on Mezzi, Rops, and Apex, 10 on ZywOo, 8 on Flames. Everyone delivering, no one lagging behind.
3 hours pa lang ako nakalive, 3 hours and 30 ito sa YouTube. Ano ba naman yan? Pasok na 1.5 ko sa Vitality. 1.9 ads. Good. Good. Kung hindi mag-game 5, good. Malabo na rin ata
Grenade ready to go down into the bottom banana again. Torzy not going to be receiving it on the head. Pressure on Exertion. Dismounts off the
Whoa!
half, but then comes through and dismantles too.
It's
Apex put on notice in the B-bomb side. The solo player left.
Help. Sabi ni Apex. Help.
If they execute upon it and he gets nothing, it's over.
Looks really clunky from Exertion and Torzy. Not really coordinated perfectly on what they want to do, but smoke's up. They want to make it feel like MOUZ is going to attack the B-bomb site finish here, but Apex has pretty much called everyone away. ZywOo's starting to shift a little bit.
Just as the bomb starts to loop banana and think about an A finish, so Rops will be the only player on A. He's not really in a position to change the outcome of the round just yet. He's in front of the library. In fact, all the way back in the library now.
They're saving. Rops is sliding over in this position, just back away to the B-bomb site. When that hit didn't come in towards B, when the hit didn't come in towards A, that's the call that Vitality's going to make, because they got no money in the bank. Flames will be able to buy himself a rifle in the next round. Apex can drop a rifle over to Mezzi. Outside of that, everyone's pretty much busted. So MOUZ will get up to 7. Vitality making an economic decision so they can have another crack at it and another full buy in the next round. But man, it's just a weird feeling for MOUZ. It's every time it seems like this match has just completely slipped away, they have that one last gasp, that one dying breath.
Yeah, catch the last wind. Can still win in regulation, just need to be perfect from this point onwards on the T side.
This hunt's actually huge. This could hurt MOUZ a lot if they go
Pag
for
kayo
this and lose
namatay
these
dyan,
rifles. But
ewan
if
ko
they
na,
get
ay may
everything
pera
from
naman kayo, pero
Vitality,
bahala
they
kayo.
set
Pag
themselves
namatay
up
kayo
to
dyan.
close the gap even more.
It is the risk you run for the big reward. ZywOo going to be naded. He's got the health to survive that grenade blast, and he's not going to peek into the open.
Lang yan, huwag na kayo mag-pick. Yun, namatay pa isa. Bahala ka dyan.
Vitality will save all 3 weapons. They get an extra kill on the way out the door.
I like the decision to go for the hunt, though, because if you're going to make a comeback like this in the grand finals, you're going to have to take some risks somewhere.
You have to have some attitude.
Yeah, just showing that you're willing to take that one. They don't want to be the craziest risk in the world, but playing against the odds, at least in that
Ayun
situation.
nga pala, may 19.5 ka pa pala, no? Pasok na,
round
pasok na.
19.
7 na eh.
MOUZ now with 2 rounds strung together, trying to bring this right back.
Okay lang. Lalo, nakapasok ko si Flamesy. Oy!
And Brolin gets a double kill. All right, that's more like it from the Swedish in-game leader. And we've got MOUZ with a 5v3 and plenty of time left on the clock.
Whoop.
Man, ZywOo's such a good teammate. He honestly probably should have just let Flames die in that kind of a situation. Really tried to force the issue. Vitality having a tough time getting up to 12. A bomb site wide open and overrun. And the hunt this time will be with as many MOUZ players as possible. They will not hold back. They will try and take these rifles out of the hands of Apex and Mezzi.
Well, the way MOUZ are winning these rounds, Jason, makes you feel a lot better about them on the T side. You know, and it's not coming down to 1v1 clutches and retakes. They're winning the rounds from the get-go, forcing Vitality into the safe calls over and over again. And they're keeping the hunt up this time because they know they've got money to fall back on. Mezzi and Apex, they don't have that same luxury. And they're close. They've got time on the fuse. Apex exposed in the open. Look at it, back Mezzi up. They will stand and fight, but how many players from MOUZ are going to appear on their crosshair in the next few seconds? Apex, first headshot. Mezzi taken down in response, and everything's gone from Vitality.
11-11 pa.
Not enough for a full buy in the next round. And MOUZ start to really close the gap.
Yeah, this is a great chance to do it even further.
Ito na naman yung 11-8.
Tapos
magka-12-8,
so they're going to buy
12-9,
some weapons and some utility to make this a difficult affair for MOUZ. And maybe a chance at actually stealing it away.
Comment aray
It's
ko.
just so hard right now. MOUZ playing very, very well in these last 3 rounds, but we've been sold the stream twice before. Not ready to buy into it yet this time.
Ayan na naman. Sabi niya, ayan na naman. 11-8.
Mike 7.
Wala na talagang mouse.
around the
Falcors
half wall.
talaga na
Exertion looking
kasabay
to
sa
clear it.
Vitality.
They swing
Pwede
on his
rin
shot.
Mongols. Oo.
Let's see if he can nail him to the
Direk.
wall. The nail
Direk,
gun
naka
ready to
3-0.
go.
Oy! Oy! Damag
Is
7!
this how they fight 12?
Oh my God!
Is this how they fight championship point?
MOUZ need to get some space over towards the A bomb site.
Ako naman, sabi ni Flame, ako naman. Swag, swag 7 pala yun. Yung skin, swag.
A 3 versus 5. Vitality can just sit back in the bomb sites and not do anything.
Swag 7.
They no longer have to push into you.
Uy! Messed.
Mezzi not getting involved in the fight.
Nag-messed.
Drop it back, playing towards Archway. Apex has come over to help
Ganda
him.
ng angle
Mezzi and
ni
Apex
Apex.
looking to
Oy!
combine.
Na-headshot! Oh my God!
Weaker weapons. Big impact.
And it's done. You can't win this round into this 2v5. Yimpat's going to back away. I know he won a great one on Dust 2. The only weakness available is this Mag 7 at the B-bomb site of the hands of Flames. But
Hindi kami
Torchy's got to
naka 3-0.
move now. He
Dapat
can't
pala
wait for his
3-0
teammate in the op.
talaga.
Is an awkward weapon with which to clear.
Agoy, ba't na Iko? Na-swag 7.
And they're going to get stalled out.
Ano yan? Game 3?
Championship point.
Game
Around
3?
the corner.
Ah, sira? Ha? Drop pa lang? Game 3 mo? Una pa ako? Aray ko, Dota pa.
10 seconds. Burning. As Zywoo flanks. It's another kill from the Mag 7. It is championship point.
Aray ko, ang swag 7 plus 900 yun.
And that is it
Ang
for
kill.
MOUZ. Surely that breaks them. They were on the comeback. You force Vitality down to a weaker buy, and they still come out on top of it.
That Mag 7 from Apex adds in the jumping damage. Taunts them throughout the entire round. Vitality 1 round away from 30 straight wins. A historic record.
Exertion. Through Banana. Flames is
Aray ka! Through the smoke, sabay Wulbang.
Their 6th, it would be.
Malabo. Malabo ng 3-1. Correct score pa more! Correct score pa more! 3-1 pa more.
Towards the impact. Nothing to do.
Aray, clean pa. Aray, 13-8. Get that 30, bro. 3-0 sa finals na naman.
Over 120 days of dominance for Vitality.
Grabe naman Vitality.
Towards an unprecedented run at a second ESL Grand Slam in the same year. And right around the corner, they're battling for another major trophy. This is what Vitality fights for every time they step into a server, and they never leave any doubt.
Vitality.
They are the world's
Dynasty.
With Rob's Apex has collected his death.
Di na era. Dynasty na to.
The streak has mastered death. And their march to the major has arrived in Texas. This is the first of the 2 Texan titles they are looking for. Together, they are conquering Counter-Strike. A new continent, another championship. They're coming for the major, Austin. This team don't just want an era. This team are building an empire. Your Intel Extreme Masters Dallas champions. Team Vitality!
Grabe Vitality. Grabe talaga. Ay! Gusto ko na magsasalita ng masasamang words. Na matalo lang sila. Pero hindi pwede. Kasi may jersey ako niyan. B is for victory. B is for Vitality! Kung nag-champion ang MOUZ, may picture din ako ni Brolan. Ready din ako. Okay, magkakaalaman na sa Major sa June 3. Sino sasali sa Major direct? Madami dun. 30 teams ata, 32 teams sa Major.
Apex, a year ago in this arena, on this stage, you have to watch another team lift that trophy. But now, 1 year later with this Vitality, 30 consecutive
32
series,
teams.
6 trophies in a row. How sweet does that sound?
You know, deep in my belief, I will never believe it will happen. It's crazy what's happening. Like 30 wins in a row, 6 trophies in a row. At some point, we said with Robin, what the fuck is going on? We have no idea, but thank you, Dallas. Even though you say a lot of fuck you, Apex, it's pretty funny, so thank you, guys.
One way or another, they're still chanting your name. A lot's been made of the teams that are trying to chase your jerseys, that are trying to run behind, how tight the gap is closing. Well, here in this grand final, only 3 maps, domination through. Have we yet to see the peak of this Vitality?
I don't know, future will tell us. The sure thing is we came to this tournament without any believing, because we had a really small preparation, because we wanted to get some rest for the major. And we still win it. That's pretty crazy. I mean, once again, the amount of work this guy did since we in the tournament is crazy. No, no one takes a break and gives his best. So, yeah, that's a dream come true. We 5 months in 2025. I won 6 trophies. It's my record ever. So that's in a year. So I don't know. Once again, I'm speechless.
I'll ask one more question of you, even though you may be speechless. You said it before. You want to win for your teammates that weren't with you in the last, for your coach that wasn't there. Is Vitality winning the major?
Yan ang curse. Yan ang curse. Bahala ka dyan.
It's the main goal. We don't know what's gonna happen. But we're gonna give our best for that. And if we keep our A level, I think it's gonna be really tough for any team. But we never know what can happen. But yeah, I hope America will be not too much for Apex at the major, please. Okay. And yeah, it's gonna be a lot of pressure on ourselves. But we're ready for that already, because since we won 2 or 3 trophies in a row, we knew in a way that we will be the favorite for the major.
Well, now it's time for you to write your names on that camera like you've written them in the history books. Dallas, let's hear it for Vitality!
Hope so. The word hope comes out there from Apex, but the real question is, who gonna stop them?
That's a very good question. With the way Vitality is playing right now, with the way they've been playing ever since they lost that series against, back then, Eternal Fire, Aurora nowadays, it's very hard to imagine anyone stopping them. Now, we have seen a couple of teams get close, Yanko. We saw Falcons do it a couple of times in some grand finals. MOUZ had a shot at it as well, but as we've been speaking about throughout this tournament, Vitality came in with lack of preparation, came in after having a holiday, yet they still win it, they still dominate, still go 3-0. It's almost too easy.
I don't know who's gonna stop them, if anyone. I know who won't be stopping them. It won't be MOUZ.
Yeah, fair.
We were talking about before the final started. Every game that Vitality plays now, we're witnessing history, right? 30 series in a row. No one has done that before on LAN. 6 tournament wins in a row. I mean, this is just crazy numbers that we're talking about, and we're saying how it has never been more competitive in modern Counter-Strike, and Vitality just keeps winning everything.
I'll say it like this, for my money, my personal opinion. I think this is the first time in history since we had that Astralis winning lineup where we can actually compare a team and say they may be better. I think there's been other teams, obviously, FaZe, Navi, you name it. Liquid had a time and a short period of time where they played good Counter-Strike, but in reality, I think this Vitality, as you said, they're riding history all the time right now. 30 best of 3, best
under
of 5
7
series
AM.
in a row. I think it's the first time we have a team that could potentially be better than the best team ever to play.
But you know what the funny part is? None of that will matter if they don't win the major.
Medal na muna, silver medal by Gympat.
But if you don't win the major, no one will care. The one reason why you can't still put them in the same conversation like Astralis is Astralis won 3 majors back-to-back, right? And that's over a span of a year and a half. That makes it so that you have to be consistent over a longer period of time. Look at the changes that teams have been making mid-season this year to try and compete with Vitality. Imagine the crazy things they will try and do over the course of a year and a half if that's how long this dominance continues. And I'm just excited to see what happens in Austin, because if they actually go on and win the major on top of everything else, it's the craziest season anyone has ever had.
All of that within a year's time frame, Jacob. Unheard of scenes.
Unheard of, you know, it's admirable. The way they play Counter-Strike, the way they conduct themselves, the way they allow themselves to take breaks once in a while, come into good shape. The way they allow themselves to come into a tournament like IEM Dallas, knowingly not being at 100%, but still aiming for the trophy. Still not giving any excuses. Still not making up any excuses whatsoever in terms of, yeah, maybe it's okay if we don't continue the streak. I think Apex is doing a good job at motivating these guys. I think the whole organization of Vitality have done a tremendous job signing the players that they have. Like you said earlier today as well, you're getting Robs on a freebie, you're getting Flamesy on a freebie. They had the balls to sign Flamesy and replace him with Dupree after winning the major. There's just been a lot of cool moves happening within Vitality, and I guess they're harvesting the fruit of all of that hard work and all those good decisions. Unlike teams like Astralis, unlike teams like G2, unlike teams like FaZe, who's been making a lot of poor decisions.
Yeah, and the truth be told, it's not even that they get tested a lot. I feel like there's a lot of games we witnessed. The last time I saw a real test over here for Vitality might have been down under in Australia.
Yeah, I think that was obviously the most they were tested. They had to defend, what, 8 match points.
Next time, puyat na naman ulit tayo sa Austin Major, June 3. Let's go! Load kayo data dun. 8 AM pa yun.
That counts and...
Alam mo ba na 2 click lang nasa laro ka na? Login with Steam at simulan na ang case opening sa Skin Club, ang ultimate CS2 skin case opening platform. With high drop rates, fair play at instant withdrawals, mas madali nang makuha ang dream skins mo. Gusto mo pa ng mas intense? Try case battles at skin upgrades for even bigger wins. Huwag magpahuli, bisitahin ang Skin Club ngayon at gamitin ang aming promo code na FocusFire.